up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
I just know we found something so wild from the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground when you say you left.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
I am struggling extremely with mental health issues, and I am trying to do that whilst being FTFE, and unfortunately, talking to flat earthers is quite painful.
All right, thank you.
Riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home.
Law. Nowhere in nature or in a controlled environment can we ever produce a volume outside of containment.
What's that?
Has gas been seen or
what's that, brother?
Now let me see you drop it to the floor, drop it to the
Chicken, banana, chicken, banana, chicken, banana, banana, banana.
I remember when I lost my mind.
All right, lost your mind and a little bit of gas as well. Good to see everybody. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you live from the heart of dystopia, where we've all got our magic sunglasses on and can see the real world. Got my good friend Janusz is backstage. Let me bring him up. Where's he at? Where's he at? Oh, I gotta go like this. There he is. There he is. And then
Hello,
we've got
everyone. How are you? How are yourself?
Hey, we're just getting there, man. Let's see what we got here. We say I got IB McFly in here, Brad and Tasha's here, Edwin Johnson. Post anything to fallen slaved us all. Gumnut, Eldon Bean, David Koresh. There's Roger. Roger's here tonight. Roger Ledwell is with us. The Samoan Watchman. Why do I always picture a big heavyset Islander in a security outfit that is just like 2 sizes too small for him? That's what I get when it's Samoan Watchman. It's funny. I like it. I don't know why the image just pops in there. David Koresh with us here tonight. GT 1982 Mustang. Let's see. Chilster Deluxe is here. Marcy Chan. We got Skeptic 936 here tonight. Liberty Guy Off Grid. Boy, we got a bunch of people in here. DJ New Moon, Mr. Tahiti, Jim Annis is here with us. What do we got? One more quarter. Couple more, and I can't get much up further without losing my place in the world here. Good to see everybody. So how are you tonight, Janusz? We're just going to kind of go.
As always, I'm great. I can't complain about anything in my life. Everything going as supposed to. So
the thing about complaining is that it doesn't fucking help.
No, it does not. But you know, sometimes you have to just get rid of the steam. So it sometimes helps. And you know, I'm from Poland, so I love to complain. You know, that's how we live. You know, it's always something to complain about.
There's complaining, and then there's whining. You got that. Now that seems to be a Jewish trait, that whining thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're gonna make
the worst is whining woman, and I think the worst would be the Jewish Irish woman.
Oh Lord. Oh, yeah, it's during sex. Oh, Irving. Oh. Tell me how much money you make, Irving. Oh.
Anyway. We must have a mixed population, and the Jews must be in front of it, because without mixed population, Europe will not survive.
Oh, somebody had me there for a minute saying it was Sunday. It ain't Sunday. Better not be Sunday, or I'll off the day some fucking where.
Sunday already here.
Yeah, probably. Oh my word. I've been going along looking at some of this crazy shit. I just saw this thing here where it looks like this plane is going to crash, but it's not. It ends up spraying a bunch of shit into the water. Watch this, man. What are they doing? They're just trying to poison us on every level, I think. Look at this crazy shit. I just saw this.
Ay, se le ponen los pelos punta, boludo. Vamos, por favor, que salga todo bien, boludo. No, lo va a volver a levantar. Va con motor. Vamos, la puta madre, dale, cuidado.
Largó combustible. Eso es largar combustible para poder aterrizar. ¿Largó combustible? Sí, eso es larga el combustible para aterrizar. ¿Y a dónde aterriza? Tira todo el combustible. No te puedo creer, pa. Está poniendo un producto en el lago. ¿Qué es esto? Nunca en mi vida había algo así.
Dropping the fuel.
Largó producto en el lago.
No, not sure.
No, están poniendo algún producto en el lago. Ay, no, esperá. No dejes de decir más.
Creo que se la pone ahí.
Boludo, me puso la... Me hizo bosta. Largó combustible. Me hizo bosta la adrenalina que se...
Somebody better find out what the fuck that is, because it can't be good to be putting that in the water.
No, definitely not.
And it's probably by, yeah, there you go, poisoning the water, D-Man says. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. I was like, oh, what the hell are they doing, man?
If it wouldn't go up, I would assume that it's dropping maybe the fuel, before the crash. But it gone up, so yeah, it wasn't the fuel then.
No. I don't know. I just got all kinds of crazy. What is this here I found? And it's like, anybody, if you want to come on up, discuss whatever, we're going to get back into our word magic Monday. But if anybody's got anything on their mind, want to talk, whatever, come on up. That's just a plain queef. Okay, Lord Racer. Good. By all means, come on up and discuss it, as long as you don't start getting a little too crazy. I had to let that guy go last night because it's like, look, man, that's really off topic. Okay, about this, they're trying to destroy the whites and everything else. Now, I understand, I know about the Marxist position and that they try to destroy every race, basically. They have this melding, destroy national identity, racial identity, everything. But this is, that's not what we were talking about. And I could tell it was getting really, I don't need to get any more of that going. I mean, we got enough as it is right now, yeah, there's definitely a war against the, what do we call it? So I guess the Goyim, and that's not just whites, it's blacks, it's Mexicans, it's Italians, it's everybody who's not of a Red Sea pedestrian lineage.
He was correct. Mainly it's against white because historically speaking, whites were only the ones who were able to stand against so-called Jews. So that's why they hate white race, because they know who we are. So but he was incorrect in a matter of that the only whites are God's chosen people. Because according to scripture, everyone who follows Christ is Abraham's seed, and he is God's chosen people.
Yep.
So doesn't matter, black, brown, whatever.
And that's what makes a nation, not a landmass, not a border. A nation is a grouping of people.
And I think you were disconnected when you were discussing yesterday. You were talking about the Israel, but you were talking about the Israel as a land and the people of Israel, which today we call Jews, and he was talking about the Israel from Jacob. So
right, it's a difference between an Israeli and an Israelite. Yes, an Israeli is a person that occupies a land called Israel. Okay, an Israelite is not that. It's not about a land.
It's a spiritual Israel and land of Israel. People very often mix it. And so that's why I always claim we have to define what we are talking about.
What's happening there? Enlightened Mind and Luke, how are you guys tonight?
Good. How you doing, Saab?
Great.
Hey, how's it going? Saab, is it cool if I ask you for some advice?
Oh, I suppose if you're, I don't know, it's like I worry sometimes, it's like, oh man, am I doing the right thing? But yeah, go ahead. I can see what I can offer up.
Yeah. Since you were in the military, would you recommend for like younger people to still go in the military? Because
no.
It's like, it's very difficult to survive out here.
It's very difficult to survive, but are you willing to put away all your morals in order to get a paycheck and a 3 hots and a cot? And it's really, you're only getting, I think it works out to be like less than like 50 cents an hour, because you're on call 24/7 and
forced medication as well.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I ask is because the benefits, they seem very tempting. Well, I know it's very immoral. It's a very immoral thing to do.
Don't go for the money, because money will destroy you.
Yeah, it would be selling
out. You
out.
need to destroy your morals. That's not worth it, man. I'm telling you, not worth it.
No.
Yeah, I would have to be working for Zog, but I
Yeah.
mean, but the benefit, I mean, free healthcare for your children, that's
Nothing free.
Satan
Nothing
is speaking.
free.
The
Nothing
money is
free.
from
What are
Satan.
you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing in order for that quote unquote free healthcare?
my life.
Not just your life, your morals. You're basically putting everything that you believe in a little jar and setting it up on a shelf and going, okay, so if these people tell me to go over here and start killing all these people and shit, I have to do that. Regardless of whether we're in the right or the wrong, I have to obey the orders of my superiors. I am willing to kill people that I don't even know so that I can have health care.
No, not kill, murder.
Murder, whatever.
What about something like more? What about like the Air Force or the Navy?
It's the same thing.
Same shit.
It's just as bad, you would say?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the difference between these two fingers right here? Right here. Right? Here's four. I got the Army,
Let's go
Navy,
fingers.
Marines, and Coast Guard. What are they're all part of the same hand, aren't they? And they all work together.
That's true. I mean, I agree. It's just I don't know. I heard like getting the free healthcare. Yeah, I know you said it's not free, but it sounded.
That's
very
another thing too. Why is everybody so damn sick? Why does everybody need health care? What's up with that?
Yeah.
That's the there's where you got to start. Let's stop being sick. That's what we need to do. They're not going to help you none. I can guarantee you that. All they do is they treat a symptom. And if it ain't what they think it was, they just, well, we don't know. You know, we're just going to have to cut into you or here's some medication to cover up the symptom, you know, and the symptom is actually, you know, an indicator that there's something wrong. They don't bother with that. It's sort of like your check engine light comes on. So you take your car to the mechanic and his remedy is to take the bulb out of the check engine light. There you go. It's off now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I see where you're coming from, but
it's not worth it.
No, it's not, especially with the potential psychological damage that can take place from whatever kind of a action that you're forced to participate in. I mean, you have to understand also that the entire thing of basic training is nothing more than trauma-based mind control.
Yeah.
It's a form of MK Ultra. They deprive you of sleep. They shoot you up with every known damn vaccine and medication that there possibly could be. I guarantee you, ask anybody that's ever been in the military, everybody, there was a whole rash of upper respiratory infections that went through the barracks. Everybody was sick. Every group that goes through, that's because of all the vaccines and shit. They deprive you of sleep. They brainwash you with all kinds of propaganda and what they're trying to do is break you down and build you into a mind control slave. It's basically what it is.
So would you say you regret going to the military?
If I had it to do over, I wouldn't have, knowing what I know now. I'm glad that I had the experience, you know, because I think it was part of it was I was one of the minority that could break away from that whole idea and understood what it was from the get-go. I mean, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what this is. And so you just play the game. Just play the game. But as long as you know what it is, it's hard for them to really hit you with it. You know, I even took it to the extremes, you know, where you know, I just was like, oh yeah, the commies, we got to kill these commies, man. They're terrible. They let me at them. You know, they asked me, why did you join the army? I said, because I've always wanted to kill a army sergeant. Really? Yeah. You know, they eat that shit up. They eat that shit up. Of course, I didn't mean any of it at all. I didn't want to kill anybody. I too was into it for the benefits and everything else like that. I really didn't want to be shot at. I didn't want any of that. I didn't want to have to shoot at people. The rest of it was cool, and plus I could drink, and I was under 21. That was a big boon for me.
So you wouldn't recommend someone who is aware of this information to play the game?
I mean, I want you to think about this. Think about this. Having to live with the moral repercussions that comes along with killing another human being. Do you want that?
Well, I don't think in the Air Force you would have to do that.
Yeah. Well, it would just be whether you're aiming a rifle at somebody and doing it, or whether you're just pushing a button and doing it from a Quonset hut over in Arizona someplace, you're still the one that did it. You see?
Yeah. Well, I definitely don't want to do that.
Role, you know, hey, I didn't participate in the Manson murders, but I did give him gas money to get away. You know, it's that same thing.
Fair
That's
point.
always something that somebody's got to evaluate for themselves. You know, we're always, as long as, and this is why they have to give you all these benefits. This is why they have to offer these college tuitions. This is why they have to offer these sign-up bonuses, because it's horrible. It really is. I mean, let's face it, a hitman doesn't work for the love of it. Okay, he does it for the money. There again, putting your morals on a shelf for material wealth.
What about what about like the police?
No, why would anybody want to be a cop? Think about
Well, like,
what you got to do. There again, you got to put your morals on the shelf so that you can go out and economically terrorize people, harass them, pilfer through all of their personal possessions, and entrap them into crimes that they haven't committed. That's the kind of thing that they do. I mean, no, I wouldn't recommend that at all.
Police, serve and protect? No, it's harass and collect.
Cops are not proactive. They're reactive. So having a bunch of cops doesn't lower crime. In fact, it actually increases crime by statistics, because now to justify their existence, they're nailing people that haven't even done stuff just so that they can justify their existence. Racking people up for petty bullshit, jaywalking, what have you, and you end up with a whole bunch of problems. Does the crime rate, do they prevent crime? No. They only show up after the fact. Very, very rarely is it that cops are just rolling down the road and happen to see some people breaking into a building or something like that. That's the rare exception.
If they even act on it, because Supreme Court in the USA ruled that police does not have obligation to protect you.
You got to look at it this way. If you work for the man, if you work for the government in any capacity, you are receiving stolen wealth.
Yeah,
because everything that the government gives you was stolen from someone else. They don't have any intrinsic wealth of their own. So they had to rob other people in order to pay you, whether you're a cop, whether you're a soldier, what have you, a bureaucrat in one of their fucking civic machines. You know, you are receiving stolen goods. It's like, I myself personally, I don't want to be involved with the government in any way, shape, or form, especially in a support role.
Yeah, me neither. But
what's your situation now in Enlightened Mind?
Oh, well, like you know, it's pretty, you know, I'm on the younger side. I'm in my mid-20s, and you know, I see the future for us younger people, and it's not looking so bright. You know, especially that 2030 is 5 years away. And, you know, it almost seems like, you know, we're not going to have a future, you know.
Like, yeah, that's your determination. See, that got too many people resigned to this idea that, oh, there's no future for us. You are the future. Determine that yourself. Don't let other people decide what your future is going to be. That's where everybody's in the trap. They're relying on a future to be provided rather than creating that future themselves.
Yeah, and why you say we want to have future? Because you see how government operates. So why would you support this freaking government?
Yeah,
by serving them. Don't do that, man.
It was, I guess, it was for mainly, it was mainly for selfish reasons to like, I guess, to survive. But yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, I don't want to go.
The majority, the vast majority of the lower ranks of the military are filled with the people that come from the coffers of the poor community. This is why it's enticing to them. And if you really look at it, these, you know, it sounds good to you. Oh my God, look at that sign-up bonus. Man, that's
Look,
really
Heresy
that's
Seed
a lot
said,
of money, but it's not. It really isn't. In the
Heresy
whole
Seed,
scheme of things, it's not very much at all.
look what Heresy Seed said. You will be a soldier. Just don't side with the beast. That's very wise.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Yeah, it's just very it's very difficult, and you know, that's it, the future, like I said, the future looks very bleak, and it's hard to be positive in a negative environment when all you see is negativity and
A
evil and
future with this
digital
current
ID.
system, a future with this current system seems bleak. But that's the key right there, this current system. And we're seeing that changing already. We're seeing that these younger people are the ones that are coming out and going, hey, fuck all this supporting Israel bullshit. What are you doing? Calling out these politicians that are supporting this genocide. I mean, we're seeing a change in the younger people. They are the future. And that's what we have to look at right there. And what are they doing in response to that? They're trying to hit as many people as young as they possibly can, like with this TPUSA. Now they're right into full Zionist fucking Judeo-Christian bullshit, and they're setting up chapters in high schools. Now they come on with some good ideas, the family, right? Having the traditional family, that kind of thing. But then when you start getting into this, we got to kiss Israel's ass and everything. That's where we started going wrong in the first place. We should have these family values. You should have a mom and a dad. You should have the mom raising the kids and the dad working. We shouldn't have to be paying like we are right now. We need to get back to that. And we're seeing more and more people are realizing it, but it doesn't mean we have to believe in some mistranslated bullshit out of a Schofield Bible and give billions of dollars to some genocidal maniacs over in the Middle East merely because Ted Cruz said so. That's some nuts shit right there. And that's what you would be getting involved with. I mean, why do you think so many of these guys that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan are self-deleting themselves? Because they realized that what they did was morally reprehensible.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Why are they homeless? They got their big sign-up bonus, didn't they? They got their sign-up bonus too. Where'd it go?
I think they spend it all on drugs.
Of course. Why?
Because they're fucked up in the head.
Yes. It's not worth it. And what's the people that you did this for? And people go out there and so proudly serve for the United States government and the flag of the East India Trading Company. I mean, the United States Inc. And they fought so proudly for it, and here they are, fucked up, and they're living on the street. And what's the people they were fighting for doing for them? Nothing. Arresting them for vagrancy and shit. That's what they're doing with them. They're just going to use you up and toss you away, man. Talk about an unappreciated job. Wow.
Yeah, it's very disgusting how they. But then again, those people, they're, a lot of them are pieces of shit. A lot of the people in the military are, assholes. They come out and then they have this big ego.
Well, it's not just that. They had it before they went in there. They had it before they went in there. They thought they were under this impression that somehow being in the military makes you something special. It doesn't. And usually you get now in my time, I don't know how it is now, but in my time, there was a lot of guys I was in there with that they had been given the option by a judge that you either join the military or you're going to jail.
Well, what a choice.
And ask yourself a question.
That's not a choice at all.
How society in the USA has been programmed. If someone says he was in the military, oh, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. So it's from where military comes from the government. And government is shit. So why you would go there? Don't do that, man. I'm telling you, don't.
I've had people do that. They say, oh, thank you for your service. And I go, don't thank me. I didn't do anything for you.
Exactly. Service in what? Invading other countries?
What did I do? I hung out over in Germany, drank beer, did war game exercises to scare the fucking Soviets. And we sat over there and be scared when they ran war games exercises. I mean, it's just a big fucking game is all it is. I didn't do anything for you people except help foment a Cold War. That's it. That's all anybody's done. And they ain't never been in your interest. I don't care if they was over fighting in Iraq or Afghanistan or anything. They weren't doing anything for you. That was for the corporation of the United States Inc.
Good evening,
So,
gentlemen.
what would be your advice to like the younger people who want to survive? Because you know, BlackRock is buying all the homes. You
Yeah.
know, I may not even own a home in the future. I might just
Well, I would guess that a lot of people, instead of what they're doing is they're going through school, which I call nothing more than slave obedient school. They're not teaching how to do anything except for to be an obedient slave for another company. Okay, so why not be your own company? That's my suggestion for the younger people. Get together, learn a trade, trade,
and ask yourself,
we
what
got
do
a man
you
right
really
here.
like to do?
We got a man right here that teaches electronics. He teaches people how to wire up a house, how to do it safely, what the codes and everything are.
Yeah, it's practical. It's useful, and
yes, and it's always going to be needed.
And I was teaching introduction to electrical engineering courses, only up to the associate's degree level, and then that college pissed me off, so I quit. Now I work at a trade school, and so it's just specifically electrical stuff. And yeah, that's useful. And a lot of them, when they get out, like I will ask them like day one, like, what is your goal? Why are you here? And they're like, well, I want to be making a shitload of money. I'm like, cool, but what's after that? Like, well, how are you going to do it? And that is with them getting their C10 contractor's license. And a lot of them have already done that. Some of them are engineers now. And most of them are making, around here in Silicon Valley, electrical contractors make well over $250,000 a year. That's after taxes. But the reason I was joining in is because I heard the military stuff. And yeah, when someone says, thank you for your service, like, did you know I shot 5 children on purpose?
Right.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't do that, but I'm saying some people did, because it was like a license to kill, essentially. And then some people were just sitting in a fucking office all day. They couldn't pass a PT test. They never deployed. They couldn't pass their fucking firearms qualifications. And, oh, thank you for your service. And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'm going to go out on Veterans Day and get every fucking free thing that's out there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Only, I don't know the exact numbers, but I've heard only about 5 to 10% of all military members actually ever deploy and see combat.
Wow.
Yeah,
and I was one of those ones that did deploy. I did see combat, and yes, I had to fire my weapons. I'm not proud to say it, but at least I learned a lesson in life.
Well, let me see here. This
and the other reason is
85 was what, 40 years ago?
That would be correct.
Yeah. No, 50. Yeah, 40 years ago. Okay, so another 20 years I can talk about some stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I had a 10-year, but I already spilled the beans on that one. But the other reason is we do have Veterans Day coming up, and I think it is therapeutic for veterans to, come online and share their experiences and their stories and stuff like that, because that's what we have to do. When I was going through PTSD training or courses, because I did some shit that I'm not proud of. And at the time I was just like, oh yeah, that's what I was told to do. That's what I was trained to do. But now I'm looking back like, holy fuck, I should have picked a different job. Just like a fucking helicopter pilot or something. But I was an electrician. I actually did some good stuff, but I was 50-50. Well, 60% construction, 40% combat.
Well, we got a guy around here. It's a friend of mine. He's got his own plumbing business, and it's been growing pretty good over the years. He offers out an apprenticeship, and like the last guy that worked with him through an apprenticeship has now got his own company, and there's a big demand for that. You'd be surprised, man, because like I've had to have something done for plumbing before, right? I call up to get somebody out here to do it, and it's like I have to call to be able to a bunch of people to find anybody that can actually take the work because everybody's so fucking busy. It's the ball's in their court. You know, they're not out there looking around for people to have to do work for. People are looking for them. It's the same thing with like what we're doing right now. You know, people around here, they're like not wanting to have to pay an arm and a leg, but also wanting good work done, you know, and because a lot of people are on a fixed income. So right now we're doing a carport on a guy's house over here, just a couple of miles away. And man, he's just tickled to death with that, you know, because it's so local, we're able to undercut any bids from any of the bigger companies or anything like that. Hell, my commute is like 5 minutes.
That's the fucking, it's like a bicycle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just up the road, you know. So we go over there and it looks good. He's happy as hell about it, you know. And
yeah, and the trades right now are very undermanned. And I'm not saying because of all the deportations, it's just because of the growing population. And right now, I've tested this out. And I say, oh, yeah, I live at this address, and I have just acting like I don't know anything about it. And like, I need to have a panel change out. Like, how much do you think it would cost? And when can you come by? They say, oh, we can come by in a couple of months to do an evaluation for you. And I was like, what the fuck? A couple of months?
Yeah.
And
that's the same in Australia.
Yeah.
It's the same in Australia.
And even though I do respect a lot of electrical engineers because they do have a very important job when it comes to the larger scale kind of stuff, but this was about, I don't know, 6 years ago, roughly. I was at Home Depot just getting stuff for a side job, and this guy was asking me, like, are you an electrician? I was like, yeah, I'm an electrician. And he's like, oh, okay, I just bought an electric car. Can you come over or I think it was a hybrid plug-in, one of those, like a Chevy Volt or some bullshit. And I was like, can you come over and install it for me? I was like, yeah, no problem. And then when I got over there, I found out he's a fucking electrical engineer. And I was like, why don't you just do it yourself? Oh, I don't know how. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, he said he didn't know how. It took me 45 minutes. I charged him $300.
Jeez. I mean, why didn't he know what to do?
I don't fucking know. Because he probably just works on a fucking computer all day. There's a lot of different types of engineers.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of them are just sitting back using AutoCAD all day, but they have never picked up a screwdriver. Yeah.
They don't know how to get the shit run through and yeah, I know what you're saying.
But
is that the type of thing you'd be interested in, Enlightened Mind?
Yes. I mean, it's either that or going back to school or college, but I think that's more of a scam. Like, pay a couple.
Well, there may be a trade school. I don't know how it works in the States, but trade schools.
Definitely. College is ridiculous.
Trade school, you go to learn. Yeah, you go to say, like, okay, I want to be an electrician or I want to be a builder. You work out the trade you're most interested in, and then you enroll in the trade school. Is that how it works, Sov, over there?
Yeah, kind of. The way I did it was like this. All right, so here's how I got into carpentry. Right, I started out with a framing crew as a laborer. Okay, so basically, my job is make sure that the generator was gassed up and running, the air compressor was set up, all the hoses were out. I'd fetch the lumber that was needed. And then you start working your way into not just fetching the lumber, but taking measurements and cutting it. And then you start learning different pitches. And the thing is, you start learning the different things that you need to kind of move up into the work. And when they hire a new laborer, you know you've pretty much arrived. But it's to their advantage that, you know, especially if you're somebody that can show up every day on time, you're not always calling in sick and shit, they'll take an interest and showing you the correct way of doing things because that's to their advantage. They don't have to keep telling you. They don't have to keep telling somebody or even do it themselves. They can just say, hey, Dave, go over there and do such and such. And you already know what to do because you've been doing it like that. But you'll start something. And let me tell you what, those were some sore fucking days. Humping 3/4 inch plywood across bumpy, muddy fucking ground, and then trying to lift it up to the guy on the next deck. And you know, it's some grunt work, but you put your time in and you start learning what needs to be done, all the steps that are involved, and next thing you know, you can be, you know, running your own crew, subbing off of the guy that you work for while you're getting your own license.
Who's the young guy?
Me.
Enlightened mind.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So if you enroll into college is in many cases a scam. However, if you enroll into a program like, oh, I'm going to enroll into an electrician program like what I'm teaching right now. Like, what do you want to do afterward? Oh, I want to become a pastry chef. It's like, well, that's not going to fucking work, right? So you have to basically have an end goal for it. So if someone enrolls into a sociology course, like, what are you planning on doing to make money afterward? Oh, I don't know. I'll just stay in school forever, get a PhD in some nonsensical thing. And then what do? They just work at a college their entire fucking life. And it makes no fucking sense. But if you go to medical school, law school, engineering school, trade schools, programming courses, yeah, these all have an end goal. And that's where people make money. But you also have to look at the dynamic of where you live. If you want to go through a programming class over here in Silicon Valley, you better have a PhD because we got a whole bunch of them. But you go over to somewhere else, probably not so many.
There are a lot of people that I know make a lot more money doing trades and electrical work than anybody I know that have gone to college. It is a huge waste of money.
Well, they're in cahoots with the banks, man. You can't tell me that what they teach and what they offer is worth the amount of money a person pays every year. That you cannot convince me of that at all. I mean, I look over here at the college where my wife works at. Them fucking people, they got so much goddamn money, it's not even funny. They just throw it away. They just throw it away, man. It's amazing.
But there's other trade unions, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, welders, all these different trades that are required for construction. By the way, construction is some of the most important jobs in the world. You can take your fucking cell phone and throw it away, like fuck all this coding. I'm going to build something. But
that's the thing about that too. You want to look at, is what I'm trying to do going to be obsolete by AI or a robot very soon? You see, and when it comes down to it, it's going to be a long time before they got robots building houses, robots building 7-Elevens, whatever.
They already do. There are 3D printed houses, my friend.
Yeah, but you know what? Cost wise, setup and materials, you're going to get a hell of a lot more done with a crew of guys than you are with a 3D printer. I guarantee it. So it's good. Like I said, it's going to be a while. It's going to be quite a while before they can actually match up to that. Because there's always some shit involved when you're building something that requires your brain, because it's not always going to be computer perfect. There's going to be something that you're going to have to adjust for or account for every time.
What you're talking about, just basic construction, even in today's modern world, is interesting if you think about some of the architecture and the crazy stuff that you see in. I believe that the stuff that we see that has all this fancy and really elaborate and ornate architecture is from a different timeline. It really is. It's not. It's not stuff that we as men did.
I always look at that like okay.
There's no way we had dirt roads and horses.
I always look at it like, how would I have gone about putting this together? Because I know how things are built, right? So I'm like, all right, what would be involved with this? And I'm like, buggies and axes, my ass. There's no way. You mean to tell me in a time without power tools, no routers, no jigsaws, nothing like that. They're putting all this filigree and shit on these houses and everything. You know how long that shit would take to cut with a coping saw and all that shit, hand saws? Today it'd be even a challenge with the power tools, getting it perfectly right. But look at the stuff that they put on these places, man. And it's just
like Petra. You guys have probably seen Petra, Indiana Jones Part 3.
Yeah.
They say that's like 1500 BC or something like that. And people still live there. And it's like, well, that was before like the Bronze Age, I think. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And this is how awesome construction can really be when teamwork comes into play. I should list all my classes.
Well, my thing is, how was it so precise back in the day? And like nowadays, you can barely go to Home Depot or anywhere and get lumber that isn't warped already. Like, how is everything so friggin' perfect?
Well, you know what it is also the lumber today is less dense than the lumber that was used, say, 50
True.
years ago.
Building codes. I know all farmhouses around me were built with complete trees, like out of tree trunks.
way they're growing the lumber, the way they're growing the wood for the lumber, they're using these like growth hormones and shit, which is causing the wood to be, it grows fast, but it's not as dense. Like a 2x4 of white pine from say 50 years ago compared to a brand new one today weighs twice as much easily. Man, we had these 2x4s that we were working on this house. It was built with literal 2x4s, not 3.5 by 1.5 inch. They were literal sawmill 2x4s. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, true 2x4.
Heavy. Those things were heavy because you're used to a regular 2x4, and that thing, it feels like you're picking up a double plate or something. It's like, wow. And then being that old, that's another thing too. As it gets older, it gets a little harder. So you sit there trying to drive these nails into it, and they're bending over because they just won't go.
Yeah, I've experienced that on older houses.
Nail gun, using a pneumatic nail gun, you put it up there, doom, like that, and it's sticking out a half inch.
Here's my question in regards to construction and stuff, and this is every single trade. So, how long do you think it would take for a professional crew of people? Well, I'm talking like 200 or 300 people with cranes. I mean, every single trade possible to build a move-in ready 2-bedroom, 2-bath house with all appliances and everything. Inspection ready, move-in ready. How long do you think it would take?
See, that's
how many people?
Is that assuming that everything's coordinated together?
Yeah,
right?
it's a practice thing, yeah. So here, it's not a very long video, but it's really awesome to see what teamwork really looks like. So here you go. And it's not super high quality because it was recorded a long time ago. But what they do is they, I can't find a more recent one. They would build the house and they would give it away to a family in need. And all of the construction workers were not getting paid. They were the ones paying for the material. So I think it was a pretty cool cause, which they would continue doing it. But here you go, watch.
Normal autumn morning in East Texas, the countryside awakens to the sounds of birds singing and crickets chirping. On October 1st, 2005, the morning sounds were anything but normal. On this morning in particular, East Texans heard the sound of planning, the sound of organization, the sound of teamwork. On this morning, thousands of spectators heard the sound of a new world record. At 8 a.m. on October 1st, 2005, years of planning were put to the test.
On your mark, get set, go!
It's a shitload of people.
They went to every Home Depot in that state, probably.
Emptying shelves.
A lot of brown folks. A lot of brown folks. I don't know, man. You don't see it working like that too often, though. It's bad. Oh, they're running the electric before they even stand the wall.
Oh yeah.
Like when the Amish build things, they will take 100 people and lift up a whole barn and move it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, they do a barn raising in like 2 hours.
Dude.
America, everything is freaking plywood.
Look at that.
Timber.
No, come on. No way. No.
My country is everything from stones and bricks.
No.
This is real.
I know.
That's why other countries call our buildings paper mache. They got some rockin' music behind this, though.
What year is this?
2005.
Okay.
20 years ago. We had a guy with the chow saw. fucking landscaper.
Yeah, they're even laying sod. And I called 2-hour house just before 3 minutes.
I love it when a plan comes together.
All right, so that's pretty much it. I'll drop the link for that if you guys want to watch
That's pretty cool, man. I don't know, that had to have been a hell of a crane, and a heavy crane at that, to be lifting that whole roof off there like that.
Oh, that was probably at least 10,000 pounds.
Man, I'll tell you, we used to build. We had like 4 different models of houses we were building down near Chancellorsville over there, and like each one of the models had like different options. Like one of them was to have another room up over the garage. And this was what the house that we had just finished was supposed to have, but they gave us the wrong blueprints. They gave us the prints for the model. It didn't have that. It didn't have that. They wanted to have the room, right? But the prints that we got didn't have the room. And so they had the people from Atlantic Builders were in there talking to this woman because it was their fault. And they're like, we'll knock so much off of the price of the house and this, that, and the other. And she was like, no, I want that room. So we had to go up there and cut that entire roof loose off the garage. And let me tell you something, when we got the crane hooked up to that and pulled it off, oh my God, you could hear that thing creaking and popping as that crane pulled it off and was setting it down in the ground. It was like, oh shit, you could hear it all over the neighborhood trying to pick that fucking thing up. And I thought for sure it was going to bust apart or something, but it didn't. And that was only half the battle, because then we had to tear the damn thing apart and throw all the pieces in the dumpsters and shit, salvage what we could. And then they came in with the new truss package, and oh shit, that was a nightmare. But that woman wouldn't budge, not for a minute, man. Not for a minute.
Hey, Andrew, thanks for sharing that, man. And also, Jerry, thanks for having me on. I've been watching you for months, so I jumped on here, and I appreciate you having an open chat, man.
Right on, man. Right on. Anytime.
Yeah.
Like tonight's just like free for all. Anything we want to talk about, we're into it, man.
I've got something then.
What
about this bullshit alien vessel that's coming by that people are freaking out about? What do you guys think is going to happen?
What is that? That 3I Atlas or whatever?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's horse shit. I think they're testing the waters to see who's biting on it, how hard are they, and can they run their Project Bluebeam style psyop on us? Something's got to.
I reckon it's got to the point where they could run it anytime they want, and most people are going to buy it.
Probably.
In fact, they'll think it's exciting and cool.
Well, so you brought up earlier the lumber nowadays is crap compared to what it used to be. Remember that? Okay. My theory is that there were older trees that they were harvesting much earlier in the early Americas.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
better lumber. Yeah.
But see, they're putting they have these they plant these forests of white pine and fertilize them specifically for lumber harvest. And that's what you're running into. It's sort of like it's growing too fast. The wood's growing too fast for it to be strong enough.
So that's why I got crap buildings. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. And then now they're not even wanting to sheet the walls with plywood. They're just sheeting it with that styrofoam crap.
Uh-huh.
And I just saw not long ago where there was this neighborhood under construction down in Texas. And one of those Dureco winds came through there and just ripped that shit down. Just ripped it right the fuck down. Because when you put that plywood on, it actually adds strength and rigidity to the walls. You got that styrofoam shit on there, and you don't have that, man.
Yeah,
a lot of these houses, you could break into them with a utility knife. I'm not kidding you. You could break into them with a utility knife. Just cut right through the wall, walk through the studs, and into the house.
That's crazy.
Don't give anybody.
The crazy thing is, people are paying millions of dollars for these nice, fancy homes. I'll take my chance with the old, shitty farmhouse that's built out of like literal tree, like log, like trunks of trees. I mean, before there was building codes, these buildings cannot be demolished. They're crazy strong. The building codes these days are laughable.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of buildings around here that are in excess of 200 years old, and they're in great shape.
Oh, if they got a good set of bones, you can rehab them and you can build them up, and it'll be there forever. If you take care of it, it'll be there forever.
And on the contrary, some of these, and here's another thing I knew was going to happen. This vinyl siding. Okay, people start putting this vinyl siding on their houses. And they didn't allow for expansion. And so consequently now, after like 20 years, 30 years, you go by and you look, and the broad side of a house, it's all wavy looking from where they didn't allow for the expansion when they nailed it.
But not even that. The sun hitting it on the side that the sun hits the most, it gets hot and it'll buckle and start waving too. I used to live in a trailer, and man, it was a friggin' nightmare.
Oh yeah, you hear the seams popping in those things, man. Oh, look at here. We got Chad with us.
Well, I mean, the walls are made out of hopes and prayers when you live in a single wide trailer, my friend.
Dude, those things, I know, I could never work for the place where they build those at. They have one right over here in Harrisonburg. And I knew a guy that worked over there. I went in there. That's amazing. They just whip those things together like nothing. Those guys are using those fucking staples like they own stock in the company or something.
We changed an outlet. The outlet wires are supposed to be wrapped around the posts in there. And the post, they just they put the tip of the wire in there and just screwed the post down in the electrical outlet. It's like, no wonder it was arcing and sparking and almost causing fire. You have to go in there and actually rewire everything properly, or else it's actually dangerous.
Well, here just recently, I'm in the middle of doing it now. When we get time, we've been working on a double wide from 1982, and let me tell you what, that's got a lot of work. They use that particle board, not OSB. They use particle board for the flooring. So any place where that shit gets wet, it's ruined. That's it. It's ruined. And you got to cut it out and put a little piece of subfloor here, a little piece of subfloor there. They're a pain in the ass. And trying to get the carpet up, they lay the carpet before they set the walls. They set the walls on top of the carpet. They've got the carpet already laid out for all the rooms. They've already got them marked off and everything. And they've got the linoleum and the carpeting and everything where it's supposed to be. And then they come in and set the walls. And it's right down on top of it. So what's that mean? When you have to replace any of the carpet, you got to cut it. You got to cut all of it next to the wall. And like I said, man, these guys go through there and use fucking staples like they own stock in the staple company, man. There's so many of them trying to get them back out of the floor. It's just like hardly even worth it. But it can be done. And that one we finished, that turned out looking really good. We put the tongue and groove pergo floor into it. Had to replace some of the drywall in there, and luckily they sell that 1/8-inch thick shit that they use in the mobile homes down here at the co-op. So I guess probably because there's so many trailers around here.
Hey Dave, thanks very much for having me on. I gotta get going. I'll be listening in the background. I have to rewire my dishwasher.
Oh, there you go. That's fine.
The circuit board. But if anybody has electrical questions, you can ask me, and I will give you an actual professional and free explanation.
Cool.
People.
Awesome.
I owned a trailer, a 1958 Skyline, which actually was built a lot better than what they got now. But I mean,
oh yeah.
They used regular plywood. They didn't staple the carpet down before they put the walls in.
He's an electrician. I have a joke for him. Walk now. You have to mute yourself, because I think so. You are.
Who's got the?
Yeah, he is muted.
No, it's Chad.
Someone else.
Try muting. Yeah.
Oh, right, Chad. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting an echo. Sorry about that. That might have been.
No, it wasn't
you.
you.
It wasn't you. I was
Hey,
saying a joke, you know.
I mean,
because he's electrician, so it's in his trade. What's the difference between the sapper and the electrician? They only can make mistake once. But electrician, before he dies, he will still dance.
So I was going to shift gears a little bit here. Here we are. It's November the 8th. It was here today. And all the bluster of the EBT wars that everybody going, we're going to go out and just take our food. We're going to rob all the people and all this other shit. What's going on? Nothing happened. Nothing's happening.
I don't see a soul do anything.
I don't see anybody flipping shit. In fact, here this guy was at a Walmart. He says, what could have changed? The EBT crowd is gone. And then you look how dead this store is, and you got to realize that when it was normally busy, it was because that's how many people were on that EBT. Watch this shit.
You want to see something crazy? And we in prime time. It's like 7:30 Thursday night. Where is all the foolishness? It's just not present. I don't understand. It's not empty, but I can walk around and listen. Shh, shh, shh. I can hear myself think. What's going on? What could be the cause? There's very little chaos happening. I'm the only person that I can hear speaking. Look at this. A whole
calm before the storm.
Lot of nada. And let's just be honest, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. You want to see something crazy?
That's much better.
Yeah. Because on food stamp day, man, where'd he go again? He left again.
I think he's still having problems. He was muted when he came in. I think it's
He's got some software update.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
He
getting a
said
laptop, so he's going to do better when he gets
Like
a laptop. Yeah.
on my browser, I can't go on Roger's stream because he's
Yeah, because I use Restream. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got an issue. I have to use a different browser if I want to go on with Roger. Because of some update I did. I don't know what I did.
Yeah, Kobe said he's going to be getting another system here next week, I think he said, or something.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, man.
Like having them around. Yeah.
So what's wrong with these churches, man? They're not, it's nice that they offer out stuff for people that need it. But they're becoming like a bureaucratic thing, And this woman, she kind of points this out. I thought this is kind of interesting. Look at this.
Are y'all on that side of TikTok where that lady's calling around and she's testing these churches to see if they're willing to buy a can of formula, one can of formula for a baby, and she tells them that she's been out since last night, okay? She's calling these churches up. And are you hearing the responses of these churches? Now, if somebody calls you on the phone and they tell you that a baby has not eaten since last night and they need one can of formula, your only job is to ask them how quickly they can meet you at the nearest store. We're not skimming around and making you wait till Wednesday or calling somebody else on the phone to get approval. That's a fresh $20 bill. And if you ain't got it, you got a credit card somewhere that you can charge it to. And if you ain't got it there, then we're going to be asking strangers on the way till we get there because we're buying a baby a can of formula. The fact that I'm hearing people say that they can't buy a baby, an infant, a can of formula because you're not a member of the church. Well, honey, I don't know if Jesus is a member of your church. I'm not sure if he's ever showed up to any of your sermons because, quite frankly, I don't know how that is a representation of being like Christ-like. Are you not supposed to be called to be like Christ? Now, if he can feed a multitude, you can buy a can of formula. That I know for sure. You ought not need nobody's approval to do it either. And you can't be struggling so hard that you can't afford a can of formula. For crying out loud, we've got a government that can't even agree on nothing, and people out here that's trying to figure out what they're going to do because they need assistance and help, and they can't even turn to the church to get the church to help them out. Listen, I understand that the church can't help every single solitary person on the planet, but you can buy a can of formula. You can use common sense to know that a can of formula ain't breaking the bank. And do you honestly think that your response of telling someone you can't buy them a can of formula is moving them one step closer to a relationship with God? Do you think for 1 second that that's causing them to be in a place where they're looking and seeing a loving Father that cares for them and wants to meet their need? And the fact that this woman is calling around and now you're exposed and people are hearing exactly how you're responding, you should be deeply ashamed of yourselves. There should be a long, hard search within your policy and in your own heart specifically to ask yourself why it is that you would turn down a baby getting formula. Now, I don't care what your prejudice is. I don't care how many times somebody's used you for something. She ain't even asking you for the money. She's asking specifically for the can of formula, and she can come meet you to pick it up. Now, I'm absolutely appalled at that. I'm appalled at it. You do realize as a Christian, there are so many opportunities that's going to cross your path where God is going to test you to use you, that he's going to ask you if you will allow him to slip his hand into the glove of you and let you be used so that you can work and do something in the life of others. You are blessed to be a blessing. God blesses your life and makes your life flourish so that you can also bless other people. There's scripture in the Bible where the Bible talks about if someone comes and tells you that they need a coat, don't just say, I'll pray for you and send them on their way. Give them a coat. Give them a coat. It's great to pray for people. We need to be praying for people. But sometimes you don't have to pray and ask the Lord for something. Sometimes the Lord is like, yeah, you can totally do that. You can feed a baby. I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with you feeding a baby.
Look, she is correct, but why the mother is buying formula instead of breastfeeding? Formula is bad. Which I think
what they've done, I think they have fucked women up to where a lot of them can't breastfeed.
All right, yeah, maybe you're correct.
I do. I believe that's absolutely true.
And the video piece is 40 seconds or something.
And also, why are you waiting until the very last bit of formula to ask for formula? You should be having a plan when you're halfway through to be like, oh, I'm going to run out eventually, and I should probably have some instead of being like, my baby's out of
woulda,
formula.
coulda, shoulda. The bottom line is there's a baby without food.
Yeah, that is true.
Regardless of how that got that way, we can get into the woulda, coulda, shouldas after we feed the kid. That's the bottom line right there. It's easy to sit there and say, well, see, now you've learned your lesson. No, man, we'll get into the lesson, but first we're going to make sure this kid's got food.
Well, I was thinking it could be a scam, but I mean, if they're willing to meet up for the formula, they're not personally asking for money. If they need the formula and you show up with the formula. Although my brother is in prison right now, and he used to run a formula scam like that, and he used to sell the formula back for money to get drugs because the formula is very expensive. But that's a different story.
And it doesn't have in it what breast milk has. It doesn't. It's like filler. There again, introduction to fake food to the kid. I think that fucks kids up too.
Oh no, it has much more. That's why I put the video. You see what's there.
I was going to say for a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, she's got some good morals.
Let me see here where I can get this at.
So mainly have a video for any topic you drop, it's everything on my channel.
I know, but I always got to go through all this copy and paste bullshit too.
Yep.
So Giannis, what's in the formula?
You'll see. You have to see it yourself. It's some strange things which are expected, to be honest.
I mean, there has to be something unimaginable in this stuff because humans are not what they used to be.
No. And natural immunities come passed along.
Yes, from
breast milk as well.
Mm-hmm.
True. This is one of the things. I've had a great immune system for the most part throughout my entire life. I was breastfed.
Well, imagine
my brother was bottle fed, and let me tell you what, that kid was sick every time you turn around.
Imagine a child getting all natural hormones and all good nutrition from the mother versus this synthetic chemical, whatever they're putting into this to make it as nutritious as supposed breast milk, quote unquote.
Let's see what this girl's got to say. Oh, excuse me.
About just how dangerous baby formula is. My baby was born severely premature. She was born 2.5 months premature. She was under 2.5 pounds when she was born, and she had to stay in the NICU for about 6 weeks. Now, when you're in the NICU for 6 weeks, you learn a lot of things. And one thing I learned was that the only alternative they have to a mother's breast milk from a premature baby is donor milk. So milk from other lactating mothers. They do not give premature babies formula. I was really surprised by this considering the history of the medical industry. So I asked why, and they said, and I quote, "Oh, we can't give premature babies formula. It'll kill them."
Wow.
Good enough for you?
Wow.
Good.
Wow. I'm going to have to, hang on a second.
Yeah, we got to write
About
that
just
down.
how dangerous.
I'm going to copy that and send that to the wife. Okay. Nice.
Are you still on hiatus? The wife's still gone?
Yeah, she's coming back tomorrow. She should be back tomorrow evening, I think.
I have as well video somewhere. Need to find it. When guy is taking the neodymium magnet and he's pulling out the small bits and pieces of steel from the baby formula.
You can do it with cereal that you get over the like Kellogg's. You can get the same iron and steel out of it.
Yes.
Oats is supposed to be bad, really bad.
This was a breaking news story I woke up to today. Says Chelsea Clinton sues Monica Lewinsky, claiming the ex-intern swallowed her brother.
Oh, man.
Good one.
Oh, no, he didn't.
That's a freaking cannibalism.
Oh, here we go. This is the one I wanted.
30 days.
This was pretty good. This will give me time to make some coffee too.
Oh, didn't her sister get killed at a Starbucks or something? No, it was another girl that was an intern, right?
Yeah, that was another one. She was going to talk about some stuff that they didn't want her talking about.
Tomorrow, the entire world suddenly agreed. The Earth is flat. This is what would happen in the first 30 days. Stay until day 30. That's when the real twist hits. Day 1. News channels explode. Universities, governments, and corporations go silent, stunned. Every classroom lesson, every science textbook, every globe on every shelf, worthless in an instant. Panic sets in. Days 2 to 4. Airlines cancel flights. Pilots refuse to fly, demanding answers. If maps were wrong, routes were wrong. Navigation systems built on globe math start being questioned. Tourism crashes overnight. Days 5 to 7. Schools shut down. Teachers have no curriculum. Parents demand to know what else was a lie. The internet melts down with conspiracy forums turning mainstream. Stock markets wobble as space industries collapse. NASA, SpaceX, and every space agency worldwide, riots of angry taxpayers outside their gates. So days 8 to 12, scientists are, scrambling to rewrite everything we thought we knew about physics. You've got careers that were built on globe Earth science, and now they're just crumbling. Trust in academia, it's crashing hard. Even billionaires are trying to quietly distance themselves from all those space programs. Meanwhile, everyday people are left wondering, if this was hidden, what else is being kept from us? Then days 13 to 17, protests start popping up everywhere. People are tearing down statues of astronauts, news anchors. They just can't spin it anymore. What's wild is there's this sense of global unity starting to form, not from governments, but from ordinary folks who feel totally betrayed. All over social media, hashtags are trending. Flat truth, no more lies. Now, days 18 to 21, economies start to shift in a big way. Industries that depended on the globe, like satellite TV, GPS companies, aerospace tech, they're on the brink of collapse. But at the same time, new industries are popping up. Flat Earth navigation tools, new map-making businesses, even grassroots research groups. You can feel the power starting to move away from governments and into the hands of independent thinkers. So days 22 to 25, politicians finally admit what people already know. We were wrong. Universities start losing credibility, and young students, they just refuse to enroll, calling the whole system a fraud. Knowledge begins to decentralize. Folks study on their own, and, communities start teaching themselves. Days 26 to 29, chaos deepens.
But honestly, freedom grows. Air travel gets redesigned from the ground up. Shipping companies, they adjust their routes to fit the new maps. The old world order loses its grip. And for the first time, ordinary people realize they don't need experts telling them what's real. Day 30. 1 month later, the lie just collapses under its own weight. Humanity comes to realize this wasn't just about the shape of the Earth. It was about control, obedience, and trust. The globe wasn't just a model. It was a cage. And now, after only 30 days, billions of people can see the bars breaking. They said flat Earth was a joke. But when the whole world agrees, well, the joke is on them. Just to be clear, this video is for entertainment purposes.
Just entertainment, that's all.
No mention of God, which is the most important thing about when you discover flat Earth.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Well, you know what I found though, Luke, is this is a thing too, is because it's this predomination, I think, of atheism within the globe belief exists, that if you don't get into the God thing with them right off the bat, they're not as resistant.
Yeah, there's a certain point where some people will turn around and say, I gotta step back from this Jesus freak until they get a full grasp. Like, you can't just go straight into you do have to explain some of our sciences that we personally or people personally believe here first before you just go straight Jesus, because I've tried to do that. It doesn't work so well.
The thing is it will come as a self-realization, as it did for me, that, you know, a lot of people, they go into it and say, well, the Bible says the earth is flat, and, you know, then it's like, you know, what I found out was, man, this thing is flat.
It does depend who you're talking to.
And the Bible happens to agree with what I found. So to me, it gave the Bible validity. The Bible didn't give flat earth validity to me. The flat earth gave the Bible validity to me.
Oh, exactly.
You see,
and a lot of people have been brainwashed with this evolution and our false scientific stuff. And like everything it's all contrived.
Evolution, I was one, dude. I wanted to be an anthropologist or a paleontologist. I was down with the whole evolutionary theory. I was even entertaining the idea of transpermia. And this is why I think the TV show Battlestar Galactica intrigued the shit out of me, because of the idea that, you know, humans were on other planets around the galaxy. And, you know, in this particular instance, they are talking about finding a legendary planet called Earth, where they once came from, you know, and the names that they even gave the characters on there, you know, were like Adama, that's Adam, you know, and he was the captain of the whole thing. I was like, oh,
Apollo.
okay. So I was really down with Apollo,
Starbuck,
Cassiopeia, right? And so that was entertaining to me. And then later on with Stargate. Now, Stargate still fascinates me, to the idea of these system lords, these Goa'uld. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the show or not, but these Goa'uld are actually a parasitic organism that lives within a human host and gives the human host almost what could be perceived as godlike abilities. And the idea was that these Goa'uld were posing as gods to humans and enslaving them and using them throughout the galaxy to mine this mineral that they want. Okay, kind of very reminiscent of the Anunnaki story. But the idea was that it was this parasite. So then I started going a little deeper into it, where I start realizing that it's possible that there are demonic influences, demonic possession, or even a parasitic infection of these elite rulers. And this is why they have their bloodlines so specific, that it can only a host has to be of a specific gene characteristic in order for this Goa'uld or this parasite to be able to inhabit them. And that this parasite is passed on as the host ages and the host gets ready to die. They select a new host. And so you're under the impression it's a completely different guy. but it's actually the same entity. And this, I think, would kind of explain why these people would put into motion and set up plans that would take multiple generations to come to fruition. In other words, the person setting it up is never going to have any hope of seeing it come to fruition unless the one that's setting it up is some kind of a parasite within a host that has a much longer lifespan than a human.
And you are correct, because they operate, like I said multiple times, they operate in the natural law and karma. They have to tell us what's happening.
But I mean, look at, and they live these ungodly long lives too. You know,
I remember
like
the TV show.
Look at Elizabeth. Look at Victoria. For crying out loud, these people live to be up in the hundreds. You know. And
if you listen to the people, who are working deeply into the AI, the very top one guys, they say they always have like a breakthrough in a dream, or someone just gives them the part of code which they exactly need at this moment to have a next milestone in their program. It's always given to them. They never come up by themselves with the idea. It's always given. So that's what I think the fallen angels and demons are influencing this shit. And they're giving them the progress because it's in the devil's agenda.
That's what the rock stars say as well.
Yeah,
that they have entities that they tap into.
I think
and
I
different
got a thing
personalities.
about black noise. I got a thing with David Bowie talking about black noise.
Didn't we watch that yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
I still got to watch the American Satan.
It was at 1974 interview.
I think so. He was on a TV show. I think it was like Dick Cavett or something.
I'm pretty sure we did it yesterday.
Maybe we did. See, my days start running together. I'll just scroll down here and see if it's where the time on it is.
Well, hey, Wake now. What are your thoughts on the little season that we're discussing yesterday?
I was actually just going to ask you guys if you were going to continue and still talk about the little season because it is quite interesting. And actually, I've heard
I think it's really interesting.
People have been talking about it. And actually at work, I sell, that's why I was interested earlier in the conversation we were having. I sell construction equipment and I've been selling the shit out of Staples. And also, another thing is you can look around and you can obviously see something isn't right. Now that I've found out about the flat earth and the little season, every single thing I see around me makes so much more sense. Before I was kind of lost, confused, in a haze, wondering what is going on. And you go through a lot of BS trying to decipher through all these shills and agents and paid operatives that want you to think differently. And you really have to use a lot of discernment to weasel your way through to this pure point of enlightenment to where your BS detector goes off the chart and it breaks and you no longer need it because you have found out the absolute truth.
You know what I reckon? One thing, one thing, I don't know that it's 100% true, but when I started looking at it, I want it to be true because if it is, it's good news. Like we've got 2 chapters left of Revelation. We don't have to go. If it is true, there's so much less fear. We don't have to fear as much. So
don't have to fear anyway,
guys.
I know, but as a Christian, you do fear the end times. You're not supposed to.
Well, how many times does it say in the Bible? It's well over 100 times throughout the Bible. It says the phrase, "Do not be afraid."
Yeah, fear not. Fear not.
But look, you have to take into consideration as well that the Satan, master of lies, he knows scripture better than any of us, even us, all of us together combined. So, and the Lucifer is false light, enlightenment. So now, as well, a lot of knowledge comes from Lucifer. You have to take it into consideration on deeper level. So
365 times. That's right.
Yeah.
GA.
So
every day in the year.
Let's take it into consideration because I think what might be happening is exactly Satan planting these ideas, of the Satan's little season. That could be the case. I'm not saying it is, but could be. It's worth to consider.
Well, the thing that gets me about it is this, okay? Because we know that Jesus told those people, he says, there are people standing here right now that will not taste death before they see my return. Okay.
Yep.
So
Matthew
was he
16:28.
mistaken, or did those people live 2,000 years or more? Are they still around?
No. That's not what it means. Death is separation from God. So death exactly means you are ending up in hell. So death, in the meaning when Christ was saying, it's a separation from Him. That's
Well,
what
how do
death
we know
means.
that that's what he meant? Or is that
That's what was explained in the
speculation?
Bible. So I
That
trust
Why
it.
can't we
sounds like
take him at his word, though?
Yeah, I would too. I don't see him saying shit all cryptic like that. I mean,
What about this one? What about the generation one, Yunush? Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. And he was talking about end times before he says that, by the way, to give it some context.
But a lot of people did die. So yeah,
Of
that's
course.
very
Yeah, but the
cryptic.
whole generation.
A generation, that's like 40 years usually.
Well,
Yeah.
also you have
Let's
to
say
think
even 80. But
we
how many
live in a
80s
time.
on?
We live in a time where people are constantly talking about end times. Every year there's cataclysmic events. It just goes on and on and on. And it's like, maybe they're right. Maybe this is the little, maybe it's not end times, but maybe this is the little season, because it's never ending apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Because end times, it's a end of certain times and then new times start.
Then you got the asteroid the size of 33 sheep gonna hit the earth.
But asteroids are the asteroid concept on a flat earth doesn't, I mean,
No, it doesn't work.
Now, I believe there are probably bits of the firmament that actually fall down to the earth. Eventually.
I think I saw a thing in in Michigan recently. There was a big green flash in the sky and something falling down and burning, and I saw that, which
But
was
nobody ever recovers anything. They
But
never
where'd you
hit the ground.
where'd you see that at?
It was on the news. It happened
Exactly.
in Michigan. If you want to look it up, I'm not exactly sure the source, but it was all over the headlines.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
Headlines, yeah.
What'd you do?
It's
Still
news.
drink all your water up?
But yeah,
I mean, you see dash cam footage of these things falling from the sky, and God only knows what it is. Like, I mean, it could be anything from technology that we don't know the government's using, all the way to simply like a balloon coming down.
Yeah.
Like a Chinese
Look,
satellite on a
if
balloon?
you observe how laser works on the wall, you can make a very fast certain moves. It's defined laws of physics. That's what we see. I think there might be lasers on the sky. That could be a possibility. So that's why we see those freaking UFO changing the angle of flight so fast. That could be the
Nobody
case.
ever recovers any parts of these things.
Exactly.
They never hit the ground. I saw one. It was incredible. It was on I-40 going west, and it came down. It was a big, huge, bright streak, and it looked like it was going to hit the ground. But, it never did. And these people say, so automatically, because you've been told, well, those are rocks from space. How the fuck do you know what they are? There ain't nothing. You don't have nothing to recover. All you saw was something looked like it was burning coming down. That's all you saw.
Exactly. I saw the same exact thing you described in Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it burnt out and just disappeared before it even hit the ground.
Yeah.
Well, their excuse is that it burns up before it gets to the ground. That's
right, but how do they know what it is?
Exactly.
That's what I'm getting at.
The unexplainable is always explained by the news.
Yeah.
You've seen the guy who, I think so it was UK guy made a hole on the beach, and the scientist came. It's like it was a meteor or whatever. They're coming and they're saying about the predictions, what it is. And then they're saying with certainty, and then the guy comes and said it was a joke.
Yeah, the guy dug a hole and stuck a rock down there, and the guy the scientist was like, and you could even see the scorch marks on the rock, and it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Full of shit.
Well, it's like the meteor craters. They use like a whole bunch of grouse from an old foundry, and look, this is the meteor fell from space. No, it's a chunk of lead you dug out of the ground.
If you look on the water, how it gets out from the below ground, it creates crater. So maybe the craters which we have on Earth, they were from the flood.
From the
because it was
geysers.
water above, water below.
Because how are these things come down straight 90 degrees, right?
Perfect.
And I'll tell you, I've been to that one out west, and they're really lucky because that thing came really close to hitting the visitor center there.
It did, didn't it?
I mean, that thing's almost like right on the edge of the crater.
Well, you know, 40 miles over, it would hit Flagstaff too, and that would have been a mess. And I'm telling you,
some of the shit. But yeah, they always say that. They swear up and down. They'll swear those are rocks from space. How the fuck do you know what they are?
It's always funny too. Every time there's a near miss from space, they're like, an asteroid's coming within 300,000 miles of us. You be on the lookout for it, and you never see anything. But it's always funny that we always almost just barely get hit by an asteroid. Always.
Oh, I know. It's always some kind of shit like that, and it's to keep that fear and also bolster this idea in your head that you're on this ball, you're spinning around in space, and all this shit. They want your mind there. They want your mind there.
Well, it's the same thing. Like I'm younger, but I remember my parents talking about the duck and cover drills they used to have to do.
Man.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit. Just to keep
I remember
you in fear.
saying that. I remember saying that. I said, "Have you ever seen a nuclear explosion? This is not going to save us." That was my protest. I was like, "Why are we curling up under our desks for?"
Duck and cover.
It's have you seen the pictures of Hiroshima? Of course, we all know what that is now, but you know, at that time, we were under the impression that some miraculous atom bomb had leveled an entire city. And I'm looking at these pictures that they're selling off about that, and I'm going, what would a duck and cover going to help those motherfuckers with? Right there, that's what I'm wondering. You know, talking about supposedly leaving the shadow burned on the wall and shit. You know, it's like, I don't see that being a viable protection from this. But now,
no, if they claim this bomb's the bomb's gonna leave a 2-mile radius crater in the ground, the duck and cover is gonna really help you there. It's just all programming, and it is really hilarious going back and watching the original nuclear test footage of all the miniatures and the car that appears out of nowhere, and the one piece of footage.
Or how about the guys stacking the dynamite that they're going to use to make the explosion? I mean, for crying out loud.
That was on Bikini Island, right? Where they had
yeah. And then the other island where they were telling those guys that the real bomb was going to go off on the other island. They were just doing it for a comparison test.
Oh yeah.
So you had two crews that were setting up fucking dynamite.
How come the supposed fake space rockets coming back from space don't return in the same fashion?
Exactly.
Wouldn't they, heat up and then hit the ground somewhere? Pieces of it hit the ground, whatever the case may be. But you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, they supposedly do. They have to have heat shields and everything because
right.
they do because of the friction, the atmosphere. But the interesting thing is, if you look at the Apollo 11 capsule,
yeah.
There's aluminum door handles on it that aren't even scorched. They're
right.
not even
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, so you're old enough to remember Skylab, right? You remember Skylab?
Yeah.
I remember when we were younger, my uncle took us out to go look at it go down through the sky. It was burning up as it went overhead when it was coming down. I wonder how they did that. That's my question. How did they pull that one?
You just didn't push some kind of flaming wreckage out the back of a C-130 or any other guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Jerry, same way as they had that capsule come down, they just pushed it out the back of a fucking airplane.
Jerry, isn't it interesting the image we just described of something falling from the sky and burning up, and we've seen that with our own eyes, yet we believe that a spacecraft endured the same thing and came back in pristine condition.
Sure. Well, it's the story they sold us, you know.
Exactly.
They preconditioned our mind with all kinds of movies in the 50s and 60s, early 60s, and throughout the 50s of aliens and spacemen and rockets going to planets that were inhabited by women or giant spiders and all this other shit. And there's countless numbers. I got so many of those fucking bullshit B movies on my computer. I love watching them because they're so stupid, you know. And so that was conditioned in the mind, you know, that this was a thing. They've already got people, they've been telling them that these planets are balls of terra firma and that they go around this solar system and everything. So the conditioning was there, the programming was there. So when it came time to, hey, we're really going to do this, people bought it and still didn't look at the basic physical impossibilities of such an endeavor. You know, they just believed it. They put their trust in scientists or people that called themselves scientists. It's funny because most of these people that claim to be scientists do not engage in the scientific method at all.
Not real science anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pseudoscience.
Pseudo.
Exactly.
You want to see a glober lose his fucking mind? Tell him that astronomy is not science. Oh my, they can't deal with that. Jiminy,
Hey, Jerry.
God, how much water are you going to drink tonight? Fuck.
Jerry, can I interject? This is kind of off topic, but I just want to let you know you are doing a fantastic service for people, especially like me, who don't really have anybody to talk to about this stuff. It's really an outlet to be able to come together with a group of people who are like-minded, and it really does it does help. It's almost like a therapy session, man. So I appreciate you having me on.
No problem, anytime. And just as you did, anybody, if you want to come up and observe conversational decorum and
try to find people like-minded in your area. It's very helpful.
And by all means, yeah, come on up, and we can talk about all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I watch this guy. I like a lot of the stuff he says, but I don't know. Again, I'm wary of people that are introduced to me by the club, but so far the guy's info has been pretty solid. This guy here, I'm sure I think I was on a panel with him once too. Seems like all right guy, but this is pretty good.
Good afternoon, aloha from Florida. So people will often ask, why do you believe the earth is flat? And I will usually respond by saying, I don't believe the earth is flat. I know it is. The number one proof is that right there. The natural physics of a large body of water is to be level on its surface and need a container. But I'm not going to talk about water much today. I'm going to talk about a few different areas of land. Huge land masses that are both observed and measured flat. So this argument here, well, that's curvature right there. If that was curvature right there on the y-axis from me to the horizon, then there would also be observable, measurable, repeatable curvature on the x-axis, but there's not. The horizon is always horizontal. It's always flat. It's always level, and it rises to eye level, which is consistent with flat Earth. It is inconsistent with the Earth being a globe. Now, the Iuni Salt Flats, 4,000 square miles of observable, measurable flatness. Just that one area of land cannot exist on a sphere of said proportions. If the Earth were a sphere with a 3,959 mile radius, you would not have an area of 4,000 square miles of observable, measurable flatness. But then it gets better. Move to the Great Plains of Australia. That's 100,000 square miles of observable, measurable flatness, which cannot exist on a sphere with a 3,959 mile radius. Kansas, 80,000 square miles, observable, measurable, repeatable flatness. Cannot exist on the globe. And then you move to the abyssal plains under the oceans, 300,000 square miles of flatness that can't exist on the globe. And then the killer is the Great Plains of North America, which takes up 10 states in the US and 3 provinces in Canada. The Great Plains of North America are 1 million square miles of observable, measurable flatness. There is no curvature. The Earth is flat. That's absolute scientific fact. To go see dozens of experiments with observable, measurable, repeatable results, check out Taboo Conspiracy on YouTube. Also check out Flat Earth Banjo with Eddie Alencar and his book, 16 Emergency Landings Proving Flat Earth. Have a great day. God bless.
Any Flat Earth Hawaii, that's what he calls himself, Keith?
It's Flat Earth Jesus.
No, Flat Earth Jesus. Okay. He looked like Jesus. Yeah.
This is pretty good. I like this here too. This is pretty cute. Her level means curved. I love those levels, man. Those are great. Look at the zombie.
That'll work, wouldn't it? They tell you what level really is.
Crazy motherfuckers, man. They get mad too, boy. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah. I got a 4-foot Stanley in the truck, and it's curved too, like a dog's leg.
It's that's the crazy shit too, and I love it because they'll say, well, They always like to get into that with the gravity, and then they get really mad when you say, well, wait a second. You're telling me that mass creates a gravitational force? Yes. Why? Where does the energy come from? Where does it get the energy to convert into a gravitational force? And you said it was a constant, so that means that it never diminishes. It never runs out. It's a never-ending source of energy. Is that what you're trying to suggest? That it's actually creating its own energy?
That's another thing. If you look at my profile picture, it's of an atomic bomb or a nuclear blast. And I think it's hilarious because 9/11 woke me up. But also back in the day when I was in school and when I was younger, I was fascinated by Hiroshima and also like nuclear leaks like 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania and places across Russia and anywhere that had nuclear plants. And I read somewhere that they said that nuclear bombs could alter gravity for a brief period of time, that they were so strong.
Alter what?
They can alter gravity.
Yeah. that was my point. No.
That's some of the dumbest shit too. That's, well, what is gravity? I had somebody telling me today that said, "Oh, what's that thing they got? LIGO."
Yeah,
I said,
LIGO.
oh, okay. So then that means that they've been able to isolate gravity. If they can detect it, that means they've isolated it, right? And if they've isolated it, then they know where the mechanics and why it's there, right? Well, no. Well, then what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you actually? Sounds like you're talking about displacement waves to me. It doesn't sound like fucking gravity. It sounds like displacement waves.
If I can find it, I'll share my screen. It is pretty funny.
Are you going to find gravity? Oh, no, just kidding.
Oh, remember Craig said there was a picture of it.
Yeah, right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It was right behind you, Saab.
Yeah. What was it? It was this. He said that this right here was a picture of gravity. Right there. He said that was a picture of gravity.
Dang.
Or maybe it was this other one. Do I still have the other one? No, that's the one.
I think that was the one, yeah. It's been a while since you did that debate, but yeah, I remember it quite well. There's a big bunch of gravity there.
All kinds of gravity. Yeah. I couldn't believe that dude, he's so triggered over his globe that he's going to take the time on a live stream to call the sheriff's department in my county and try to get me in trouble for some kind of bizarro shit that he makes up. I was like, that's funny as hell. Oh, and incidentally, update on that. Still have not been approached by anyone about this supposed threat that I made.
I loved how polite the cop was, or the sheriff that was talking to him. Just like you could tell in his mind, you're going, "What do you want about, mate?" But just that old-fashioned politeness, customer service.
You're under surveillance, Dave.
Yeah,
they're gathering research and intel on you.
What that cop say? He says, I'll ride by there a few times to make sure he's not doing anything weird. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm always doing something weird. What are you thinking?
Right.
Well, you were considered a violent threat, weren't you? That's what Greg was saying. Because you had a felony on you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just a bad person because I'm flat earther too. You know, just a generally bad person.
Aren't we all?
Oh well. Yeah. Guess what? That's not illegal, Craig. You live in the nanny state of Scotland, where if you offend somebody with your fart, you'll go to prison for life. You know, that's just, come on, man.
Yeah, that's nuts. I still like the little drama we started making up on his post, though.
You know what, Luke, you must have saw that on somebody else's stream, because I just ran across that today. That thing with David Bowie, because I just ran across it today. It only was posted 13 hours ago, according to my repost.
Yeah, maybe I saw it somewhere else.
It's, it's wild because it's, I think that, like I've said before, I think that most of our thoughts, they don't really come from our brain, that they're transmitted to us, and it's really wild because I'll start wondering about something or looking into something. The next thing I know, other people that I'm associated with will have been looking into it too, and never mentioned it to each other. And it's like, oh wow, yeah, I was looking into that today too. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like, wait, why? What made us want to?
Yeah, like the Little Season. I looked into that like about 4 days ago, and before that, I totally dismissed it, like I did with Flat Earth 10 years ago. Oh, that's rubbish. And now I'm my bloody idea.
The time discrepancies are the biggest thing that gets me, and the obvious at this point deliberate cover up of the actual history of these places, of these buildings, of their construction, deliberately defacing things to cover up, like cutting the toes and heads off of statues. And you know, what's really going on? What are they doing? What are they, you know, what's the real story? What's the real story? Why are you adding an M to this date? Here's an old picture with the same archway with the date on it, and from back in the day. And here's a modern picture, and it's clear that between those times, somebody put that M in there to represent 1000. It's not 1888. That's 888. You know what I'm saying? They do this all over the place, this shit. And it's like, okay, so there's a deliberate cover up. We know that there was some kind of cataclysm or series of catastrophic events that people may refer to as like the mud flood, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that that all happened at one time. It could have been a series of earthquakes that were just like hitting nonstop all over the place and causing liquefaction, maybe over the course of maybe 10 years.
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just ran across a channel the other day called My Lunch Break, and
we're like
covering covering all the stuff that I've thought about and been thinking for a long time. I'm like, I'm glad other people think the same way, because I've always thought that our history was off. My personal family background only goes back to 1831, as far as I can get. And it's like, why does our history start in the 1800s? Why is there little history in 1700s, but mainly the beginning of the 1800s? And why can't I get anything any further back?
Because there was a fire wake now. Jeez.
Well, it's just a weird reset.
Fucking fire. See,
really weird reset or something. It's just
been around for about 8-9 years, hasn't he? Doing this show.
Yeah, he's been around for a few years. Really some good content. Really good content.
Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, me and my wife loves history and stuff too. We watch his videos. Sometimes we'll put him on and fall asleep. He's got a real nice, calm, but hilariously backhanded tone.
Watch as well channel Mind Unveiled. Pretty good as well.
Yeah, Mind Unveiled's good too. Yeah.
Mind Unveiled. I'll have to look into it. Thanks for the recommendation. I
Dropping
appreciate
for
it.
you if you want. Just give me a second.
He did they did a really good dive into the Cabbage Patch dolls, man. The Cabbage Patch babies. That was a good. He did like a little series on that. That was kind of crazy with that French film that they had at the World's Fair, the Cabbage Patch Fairy, and
incubator babies. Plenty.
Man.
What was that? Trains, orphan trains.
Yeah,
pretty good. Yeah,
that's some bizarre shit, man. Yeah, it really is some bizarre shit. I tie that in with not only the insane asylums, but also these fucking catacombs, these ossuaries with all these human bones, man. Where the hell did these people come from? And why, they all seem to have died around the same time. They're all preserved. They're put into these ornate displays of altars and tunnels and geometric designs and sacred geometry and shit. What gives? What's up with that? Where did these people come from? Why did they die? Why were their bones all collected together? It doesn't make sense.
That's a good question. I think maybe some of the Crusades and older wars probably contributed to some of them, but I'm thinking the church had something to do with. You know what church I'm talking about? I'm not going to mention the Big C, but that's the one. Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry, Roger. I thought you were done.
All right. I was going to say the Big C is the one that me and Luke have done shows on, and several other people have too. They are probably responsible for most of the cataclysms in the world right now.
Possible.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Now, Lucius Aurelian, he's a pretty good one too, and Autodidactic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Michelle Gibson and John Levi. Those are all.
Yeah, John.
I'm sub to all of them.
Yeah.
I've actually I'm familiar with
Conspiracy.
Michelle Gibson. I've heard of her. I think I've watched one of her videos before.
Okay. Well, all those are.
I drop for you links to Conspiracy Are Us and the Mine Unveiled on the private chat and YouTube, so you can just copy that.
Hey, I appreciate the recommendations. Thank you so much.
No problem at all.
Yeah, we've
I'm just sad when I've gotten recommendations from people in the past, and then I find out they're a complete shill and garbage human being, and then I'm real sad that I even wasted all my time and put all my effort into watching this person. But I do trust your judgment, so I appreciate it.
You know, I've looked at a lot of this stuff and these buildings and this architecture, and I've really examined, why do I have a partiality to it? Why do I like it so much? Why does it please me? You know, I mean, I look at these buildings, I go, oh, wow, I like it. I want it. You know, I want to be a part of it or something.
Yes.
And the biggest feeling I think I get is, as I've examined it, is like, I feel like I miss it.
Yeah.
The reason I like it is because I miss it so. As though I at one time were maybe used to it, that it was actually like a part of my world. You know, not that I can recollect that, but it's a feeling of longing that I have.
It's all about how it looks like, because beauty has its function. When you look at something and you like it, your humor goes up. The same with the churches. With the colorful glasses in the windows.
Was it frozen music?
Yeah, music, bells, everything, but they're destroying the stuff.
But I mean, even the architecture,
function of healing.
The architecture is like frozen music, and they're acoustically perfect. These I'll have to dig that video out. There's this girl starts singing by herself a cappella in a cathedral, Ave Maria. And before the first verse is even finished, it's as if there's a choir singing. It's only her, but the acoustics are such that it sounds like it's several girls singing at different pitches. Just amazing. Now, how the hell did they know?
New churches don't have such
things that way.
Yeah.
There was a girl.
That's where the occult magic lies. Is there the knowledge of sound, frequency, and energy? That's it right there. And and we're ignorant to it. We're ignorant to it. A guy can sit there and somebody can sit there and listen to a sad song and never once realize that he was listening to audible emotion. And that's why it made a tear. That's why, or a happy song. You know, why did that song make me feel so good? It was because of the frequency in the picture. That's it. It was audible emotion.
Listen to I'm referring now to what Sophie's is speaking about. Look into the semantics as well, or
cymatics, yeah.
Well, also, that's why the majority, about 85 to 90% of all popular songs are the same 4 chords.
Yep.
Well, you know what makes
right,
you know what makes a pop song? You know what
that's
makes
another thing they're removing from them too.
Oh yeah. You know what makes a popular song? Repetition.
Exactly.
Over and over.
Same as propaganda.
Repetition. Yep.
Oh, here comes some black noise. Look at this.
It's like I got a thing here too about this 6/7 crap that these kids are doing.
Yeah, there is black noise, white noise, and gray noise.
Yeah. This guy doesn't give you any.
Black noise. Yeah. Black noise is something that Burroughs got very interested in. It's
intriguing.
Well, no, it's the one facet of black noise is that everything, like a glass, if an opera singer hits a particular note, the vibrations are that of the metabolism of the glass, and it cracks it. Yeah. So a black noise is the register within which you can crack a city or people, or it's a new controlled bomb. It's a noise bomb, in fact, which can destroy.
Is it a real thing? I mean, is it something that somebody's experimenting with?
In France.
Could a tyrant use it to?
Well, until last year, you could buy the patent for it in the French patent office for about equivalent to $3-4.
And it would wipe out it's concentrated.
It depends how much money you put into it. I mean, a small one could probably kill about half the people there, but a big one could destroy a city, or even more. I mean.
Did radio tomography with 30 watts, looking for oil in the ground. I found 26 oil wells over a 9-state area, and 100% of the time was accurate with just 30 watts of power beaming straight into solid rock. HARP uses 1 billion watts beamed straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't make earthquakes.
Oh, it didn't happen in Turkey. One day after they disagree, of course not.
I remember
coincidence.
It's some crazy shit. Oh, here's something too. I had to repost on this one. A liberal woman wants you to stop saying the word retard.
Okay.
And said, "What's your response?" My response.
Retard says, "Do not say retard." All right.
Well, my response was, "Shut the fuck up, retard."
Nice one.
But this is. Look at this.
Hey.
What is it? She,
okay, retard, say the way.
She dazzled her face, man. What's up with that?
People keep talking about this alien invasion. It's already here. Look what's going on.
It is too, man. Look at this freak, man. She bedazzled her eyelids or whatever.
R-word back. Is anyone else noticing that the R-word is back? I'm running into it everywhere. Movies, TV shows, podcasts, real life. What's going on?
Because Trump became president, so you can say retard and fag again.
Everything happening in the world. We're really adding this to the pile. What's happening? Public service announcement. Stop saying it. Stop saying it. It's never been cool. It's never been funny or edgy or interesting. It just sucks. And I can see how excited some of you are to be saying it again. No, you don't get to. It's not happening. Stop saying it. And even if you're not the one saying it, say something when it gets said. This is loser behavior. It's harmful. It's hurtful. It's dangerous. Take it from someone disabled. Stop saying the R word. R word.
Is she disabled? Is that what you said?
Hey, Jerry, I put a link in the private chat. If you could play that video, it is pretty funny, pertaining to music and waves and frequency.
Oh yeah. The axis of awesomeness.
Yeah.
I've actually done that on my guitar before. I've done those. I've done that examples using my guitar.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
be playing one, and then I'm just, I'll go right from it and go, just a small town girl living in a lonely world. It's the same chords, and then just change the rhythm a little bit, and now you're like Earth Angel, Earth Angel. It's the same fucking song. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Here's one for you awake now. Did you? And I just learned this like a couple years back, but a lot of people don't realize that the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the Alphabet Song are the same fucking song.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was like, whoa,
man!
yeah.
I knew that like right away when I heard it. Also, I think there's a couple other songs that are also the same little tune or melody.
Oh, this is my next guy that I'm going to be making fun of a lot. Right here, this guy, Randy Fine. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah, I saw.
Oh yeah, this retard. Okay, yeah.
Oh my word.
We are a people that has been kicked out of every place we've ever lived for 2,000 years.
I wonder why.
Every single place. We are a people that has been kicked out.
Yeah. So what would you attribute that to, Mr. Randy Fine? What do you think that would be?
Because everyone hates them. Not because of what they do.
But why?
They just hate them. They just hate them. Just because.
I mean, it's just what? Are they jealous of them? That's what they claim. They claim that everybody's jealous of them.
No.
No.
Definitely not about
the. Out one more time is my question.
Well, here's the reality to it. Okay, what they call this nonsense word called anti-Semitism. Okay, the leading cause of anti-Semitism is
the behavior,
Jewish behavior.
Uh,
Okay, I've looked into this for quite some time, and that is the conclusion that I've come to.
Yep.
109. Can I hear 110? Do I hear 110?
I was saying one more time.
It's kind of like, oh, the leading cause of divorce is marriage.
Exactly. Exactly. Now you're getting it.
So
Here
I
comes
dropped
Gerald.
link,
Wait,
14
he's not ready
seconds.
yet.
Very good video. People will like it. It's knowledge versus wisdom. Very good.
Hey, it's your brother, Gerald.
Mr. Fletcher.
Oh, I found a guy.
I do, Fletch.
I found a guy, it's a scene from a movie today, and I've got it on Facebook. I'll show it in a minute.
There
But
is
the
Mr.
guy
Fletcher,
is singing, and the first thing I thought of was Brian. He was the first guy I thought of. I could picture Brian singing this song. I'm going to show it here in just one hot second.
What have you got in store for me?
Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Probably going to love it.
From one of my favorite. This is some stuff that I've watched. This is why I can understand you, Brian, is because I've watched these movies. Let me see where did I put it. Okay, here it is. This is pretty good. Let me get it some sound. And
you're going to play some Pythons of.
There he is.
Cheer up, boy.
There we go.
You know what they say?
There's Brian.
Things in life are bad.
No, he's a southerner
Make you
though.
mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. And always look on the bright side of life. Come on. Always look on the right side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your scene, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. So always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You'll see it's all a show, keep on laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Come on, Brian, cheer up. Always look on the right side of life. Always look on the right side of life.
That's a place to do it too, on a cross.
Why?
The dude that was singing there, that was funny because when he come up there and they're all in line, and the Roman guards going crucifixion.
Yeah. They are right at the other end of the country to me, mate. They're Cockneys.
He says,
That's what I just said. That's what I said. They're Southerners.
If you want to get a little bit of a lingo to where I'm from, Noel Gallagher or Liam Gallagher, any of their interviews.
So that one where he says, so
you Lancashire?
He'd ask him, he says, crucifixion? And the guy says, yes. And he says, okay, line to the left, one cross each. And the next guy comes up and says, crucifixion? He says, no, freedom. Pilate said I get to go free and go live on an island somewhere. He goes, oh, okay. And he goes, no, I'm just kidding. It's crucifixion. He says, line to the left, one cross each.
Quality.
Python's humor, man. I'm telling you, he had a sense.
Classic. You can't get away with that now. You can't get away with it. Good job it was produced when we could all see it. You know what I mean?
If you wanted to get a closer to the accent of where he's from, you're better off do it. Have you seen the skit, The Four Yorkshiremen?
No,
that's close to it. That's next to you.
No, I'm not a Yorkshireman.
Yeah, but you're Lancashire, aren't you?
No, I can pinpoint what you're after. I can pinpoint what you're after. Noel, Ollie, and Gallagher, any of their interviews.
I'm just going to say you English speak the worst fucking English I've ever heard.
Yeah. Hey, mate, you've heard the Birmingham accent. The Birmingham accent is terrible.
Oh,
it's like they're complaining. It's not complaining about everything.
I just got married. It's a happy day of my life.
That's it. Everybody's farm there, brother.
It's Eliza Doolittle.
Such a lovely day. How you doing? I'm doing great.
So I bet everyone in there can do a Scouse accent now.
The Rhine in Spain.
Calm down.
Is that where Marty Leake is from? He's where
the Beatles are from.
Okay, Liverpool.
No, Martin Leakey's Welsh, I think.
Okay.
Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, he's Welsh. Yeah, he's from Cardiff.
Okay, listen to this, guys.
It's kind of similar, a little bit similar.
A little similar.
Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
That's true.
It is true.
It is true.
And the second video is about the English accents. It's from film, but it's freaking awesome.
There's officially apparently 67 different English accents.
Everyone who's not from England thinks that everyone from England talks like this, but we don't.
Yeah, it's 60. They're all different. It's 67 different ways to sound miserable.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then. Yeah. I love that.
Michael.
You know us Aussies. We like to call you the whinging pobs.
Go on, you damn Sheila.
We're gonna have to pick a night and watch Life of Brian. We definitely have to do that. That's a great. That is one of the best. That is one of the best, man.
Yeah, Michael Kahn's he's a northerner. I know that. He's got a thick accent. I can understand him now.
He's Yorkshire, I think.
Yeah.
Who's Dell? Dell sounds like Shrek.
Oh, he's from Glasgow. Yeah.
He's on the imaginary curve.
Oh yeah.
Angry Dell.
Yeah, the one about the
Scotsman.
He's angry as fucking it.
Dell and the Deltardians.
Oh, do you know what? I was watching one of his lives, right? And someone put in the comment section, everyone share, like, blah, blah, blah. And he went, don't bother fucking sharing and liking. I'm not bothered about all that shit. Should be listening to what I'm saying. Never mind liking and sharing. I thought he's trying to help you out there, mate. He's bonkers.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, this was great. This guy, he's been cracking me up lately. This Dave Smith. Have you been watching him any? This guy.
He's an English dude.
No, he's American. This guy. This is funny. He was on Piers Morgan, and this is Natasha Hausdorff. And this is wild. She totally contradicts herself. Listen to this.
Pierce, if I'm ever charged with murder, get this lady to represent me. So that's who I want on my team. The problem here is that you're not allowed to tell the truth. You're Israel's lawyer, and you got to defend them no matter what. Natasha, does Israel have nuclear weapons?
Sorry, I'm an independent
Does Israel have nuclear weapons?
The English bar.
Yes or no?
That's a good question. I'm not instructed.
Yes or no?
I'm
yes
not
or no,
instructed.
Natasha? Does
Israel have nuclear
weapons, Natasha?
Why do you think I would know any better than you, Piers?
What's the name of your company? You do know you are not telling the truth, and so you won't say it. It's disqualifying to this conversation. You're playing a different game than me and Pierce are. We are having a conversation about what's actually going on. You're a lawyer who's not allowed to incriminate your client, which is Israel, because you know the answer the same way Pierce knows it, the same way I know it. Do they have nukes?
Let me be perfectly clear. I am not in the employ of anyone associated.
What's the name of your organisation?
UK Lawyers for Israel.
UK Lawyers for Israel. UK Lawyers for Israel.
End of story. I have this video as well.
It's like I'm not in the employ of them at all. What's the name of your thing? UK Lawyers for Israel. What the fuck you just said, man?
So she's defending diplomats from Israel all over the UK is what she does.
It's exactly Israel.
Oh, this guy, yeah, this is a black guy. He's really going hard against black people. I don't even know if I should show that. Yeah, I
show it. I know. I think who we're talking about.
Yeah, you can afford a strike on my channel, right?
It's a shame you have to make these days, isn't it? Before you post something or say something, it's a shame you have to make these judgments.
It is.
Oh yeah,
so I can afford it. It would cost me nothing, you know.
Well, you got your YouTube channel taken, didn't you, Giannis? It's no longer in existence. You got the BitChute though. Can you do live streams on there?
It's amazing how all these naughty words are coded.
So, Roger, I don't think you can do lives on BitChute.
That would be nice if you could.
I don't know. I tried to get on. I tried to use it a while back, and it was giving me all kinds of grief. Maybe they've changed it up now. That was a few years ago.
With Rumble, you can get away with a lot of stuff. I know that.
Oh yeah. I dig on Rumble, man. It's and that reminds me, if you're not subscribed over to me on Rumble to my show, go over there and do so. And keep my buddy over there company. I got one guy in the chat over here, Frank Noble's in the chat over there, and he's all by him lonesome right now. Same show going on, but also what we'd like to do is be able to show movies and things that YouTube won't let us show over on that side. So we go over there where we can show it. And it's when we do that, we get a pretty good crowd over there. We get a pretty good crowd. And I want to do it again here real soon, like with maybe Life of Brian or one of those, because those are great. Those are great because I love how they'll take history and totally trash on it and make fun of it. You know, that's what they do. That's another one I liked that did that a lot was a little bit of Fry and Laurie. Are you?
Oh yeah. Quality. Yeah.
Well, see, I found out about Fry and Laurie. Hugh Laurie was part of this comedy team. I had no idea that Hugh Laurie was one from England. I had no idea. I thought he was American because he puts on an American accent when he plays that doctor on that show House over here. He's serious, and it's a serious show. He's not a comedian. So I thought he was an American, and I didn't know that he was a comedian. And I've watched that and their historical recountants of how they came up with these like treaties and shit. It's funny as hell, man. They're good. But British humor is a little different. You know, a lot of Americans are not used to it because it's a dry humor. A lot of times it's a very dry humor. And
did you see Little Britain when it was broadcast?
What's that?
Did you see Little Britain?
Who?
Little Britain.
No. Little Britain.
Did you not see that one? If anyone's seen that, it's absolutely hilarious. But 90% of the stuff what they put in it would get cancelled immediately now. Immediately. You won't see the light of day.
Got some people over in the Rumble over there. Chicago's Cubby Bears over there. We got who else is let's see, one more quarter dropped in over there.
Yeah, I said hi to Frank earlier. I went to stop by there.
So this is kind of wild. We were just talking about this movie the other night, and there's still a little residue from this movie on the screen right now. Some of you know, some of you don't. But this is pretty crazy. And I thought this would be a good one to show. This movie he's talking about would be a good one to show too.
This movie with Mel Gibson is like trolling us. Have a listen to the opening dialogue. This is the beginning of the movie. I can't believe, I mean, people at the time just thought this was crazy or funny and entertaining to watch. Little did they know, they're being told something. Check this out.
Of Nobel Prize winners were rounded up by United Nations military units, all right, and actually forced at gunpoint to give semen samples in little plastic jars, which are now stored below Rockefeller Center underneath the ice skating rink. You want to be there for the thaw. I mean, it's disgusting. You know what they put in the water, don't you? Fluoride. Yeah, fluoride. On the pretext that it strengthens your teeth. That's ridiculous. You know what this stuff does to you? It actually weakens your will, takes away the capacity for free and creative thought, and makes you a slave to the state. Yeah, Oswald, that's what I said, Oswald. He said, I'm just a patsy, and that means that he didn't do it, right? I mean, George Bush knew what he was saying when he said New World Order. Remember those three little words, New World Order? Well, he was a 33rd degree Mason, you know, and as ex-director of the CIA.
Look, I know it's an eerie thought that like our reality is completely manipulated and controlled and things are hiding in plain sight. But that's exactly what you're witnessing here. They're telling you what's going on, but they're pitching it to you with the idea of like this kind of kooky conspiracy guy who won't shut up, won't stop talking about all these crazy government things that are going on. But it's even more deeper than that. I know that when I told my dad about the 9/11 symbology in Back to the Future, and I showed him the full video that I made on it, like, hey, look at the 9/11 in the street, and the tower exploded, and then you see the flames, and it shapes like 9/11. It's an eerie thought. Like, he was creeped out. He's like, that's fucking weird. And it is weird. And if you type it into any search engine, what are the odds of this, and that happening in a movie like Snake Eyes with the Charlie Kirk thing? What are the odds of that happening and then that happening in real life, like that being a coincidence? The odds are like 1 in several trillion. So something's going on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Snake
Yeah,
Eyes,
the
what is
truth in
that?
the movies.
Yeah, man. In that movie, I'm assuming you all have seen that before.
I haven't seen it, guys. I've seen
That
the
really did. Not even just
Good
that
film.
opening scene, not just that opening scene. That whole movie, right? Because they kept tabs on him he always felt compelled to buy a copy of Catcher in the Rye. And that's
like MK Ultra stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely MK Ultra shit. In fact, they even talk about it in the movie that he was an MK Ultra operative. And he started remembering that. He started remembering what had actually happened. And yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, he's trying to get away from Patrick Stewart, the psychiatrist, the CIA psychiatrist, man.
Yeah, I remember he made his apartment into a bomb, basically.
Yeah. What did he do? He told Julia Roberts when he was there in the hospital, he says, switch my chart.
Yeah.
And so, just at the last minute, she goes ahead and switches charts with that other patient. The next day she comes in and they're wheeling that other guy out dead.
Wonder why.
And he was like, oh my God, thank you for saving my life. And she's like, what the fuck?
You know, the little Easter egg I found there, and I haven't seen that opening dialogue for a while, is that straight after he talks about JFK, the next topic, first person he mentions is Daddy Bush.
Yes.
Now, Daddy Bush was the agent on the ground that day. He was in charge.
And he had little Georgie with him.
Well, we used to call him Pappy, not Daddy. Pappy Bush.
Poppy.
Yeah,
sounds like a wrestler.
That had nothing to do with the father. That had nothing to do with being a father. That was Poppy, as in the fucking opium poppies.
The Afghanistan thing. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, this guy was a dirty fucking.
Hey, so I've had a realization. Remember when that Trump character came on your stream?
We were just talking
Who
about
would
that.
forget? Who would forget? Well, I just had a realization. Do you remember the topic you were discussing at the time with Chad?
No, what was it right offhand?
So-called Tartarian architecture.
Oh yeah.
You were doing the
and I remember at the
movie.
time, I thought, well, Trump's really interested in architecture of this, because I, theoried that maybe it was the real Trump because he sounded so much like him. So not only is he really interested in architecture, but he would know that that's that what's going on with the ancient architecture. He'd be in on it. He would know if it's true or not.
I think he fancies himself Apollo.
No.
I do. I think he fancies himself as Apollo.
The movies you were covering that week were the Lost History of the World, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great series. I don't know. I've watched a lot of that too. Listen, that's what I'm saying is that our past is glorious. It's just a shame they won't let us know all of it. We're having to discover this shit on our own. Oh, and look, can we block Jerry? Who's Jerry? Jerry Albert? I'll let Jerry say his shit. Don't let him, Here's the thing. You throw spaghetti at the wall. If it sticks, it's done. If it doesn't, then, it's not ready. So it'd be good. Stinky Cash, his shit's been going viral on TikTok and making its way around where he talked to that council about all the Israeli flags out front. And so I don't know. They said something about they removed the things only because they were at half mast because of Dick Cheney dying. So I don't know. We'll find out. Somebody ought to just go out there and pull them motherfuckers down. I mean, that's a subversive act to have a foreign national flag flying like that all over the place. That's nuts. The only place you're supposed to have international flags like that is at the International House of Pancakes. That's the only place. I like that place when I was a kid. Now it's IHOP. It's not the same place. When I was a kid, IHOP, or International House of Pancakes, actually looked like a house. It didn't look all institutional like it does now. It actually looked like a house, and it was kind of homey when you went in there, and the food was good. Now it's just shit. Everything's shit, isn't it? What's this? Take me. Oh God! Here's my.
There's one exception. Only peace is not shit.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. When are we ever at peace? I mean, the United States alone has only had a total of 17 years of peace since 1776. It's 17 years, and that's just putting together a little year here and a little year there and 6 months there. And it's all we do is go around and be fighting with people all the time.
You almost sung Old MacDonald Had a Farm there for a second. A little piece here, a little piece there.
Piece there, here, a piece there, piece. There's never going to be any peace. That's pretty much where we stand. And boy, they champing at the bit to get us into something, boy. Whether it be Iran or Venezuela and Nigeria. I thought this guy was against foreign wars and whatnot, right? Hell, he's dropping bombs every fucking day somewhere. People think he's like Jesus or something. He's not, man. This guy's a joke. Compromised. You do what I say, Donnie, or else I'll release the tape of you and the kids.
Our government is captured, and our government is captured by the money power. The Jews have access to the money power because they have citizenship here, which allows them to take advantage of our system, even though they're loyal to a foreign country. This is a special arrangement, and this arrangement is upheld by the constellation of Jewish organizations which protect this. What do I mean by that? If a Chinese person became a $300 billion tech mogul, and he was giving money to the People's Liberation Army, or whatever it is in China, do you think that would stand? Like, think about this. Larry Ellison is worth $300 billion. He gives millions of dollars to the IDF. He's Jewish. Israel's the Jewish state. He runs Oracle, which is critical to U.S. national security. He now runs TikTok, which is media in the United States. Imagine if he were Chinese. Imagine if he were ethnically Chinese. He was giving money to the PLA. He was giving money to the People's Liberation Navy of the Chinese Communist Party, and he had those positions in America. Would anyone tolerate that? You would say this guy's a Chinese spy. This guy's a dual loyalist. He should be imprisoned. He should be deported. He should have his assets taken. But what's the difference? In America, you have the ADL. If somebody says Larry Ellison is a dual loyalist, in comes the ADL that says you're anti-Semitic and you're fired for thinking that. And you have the media, which will run cover. The media, which is run by whom? Anybody? Rupert Murdoch, friend of Netanyahu like Larry Ellison. CNN, run by Zucker, Jewish. Jake Tapper, Wolf Blitzer, hello. CBS, now run by Barry Weiss. Who's the watchdog that's going to call this out? You understand the game here? And so the ADL, the Jewish billionaires, Israel, this is what you would call organized Jewry. They are like a transnational game. They have organs performing different functions that create and protect the racket.
Yeah, I got a question. What did Lindsey Graham say the other day? We're killing all the right people and dropping all the right bombs or something along those lines? Sav, you're mute.
You muted Fletch.
I got it. He's I tried to mute it. I was getting ready to take a bong hit. I didn't want to bubble in the mic, but
That's all right.
It was empty. So I had to take the extra time to fill. No, the thing is that Graham is another one of these fucking war hawks.
Yeah.
And the thing I've noticed about these war hawks, how they talk all tough and puff their chests, that they'd be the most piss in their pants little girls if they had to go and do the fighting. They're always tough with everybody else. You see, they got everybody else doing the fight, and that's when they talk tough and thump their chests and shit and march around with pride, right? But they're not the ones out there reaping the psychological damage, the moral damage, the soul-crushing experience of war at all. They just want to reap the results from the war. They don't care about the people getting killed in it at all. Nothing. They have no empathy whatsoever. And he's one of the biggest ones, but it's always these big ones that talk tough and want to have war are the biggest pussies you can ever find. They always are. And he's one of them. I mean, that dude looks like he can't wait to go home and put on a fucking dress and high heels. I swear. He's such a twink.
Yeah, you know what? They're the type of people who have never had a punch in the face.
Exactly. Exactly. And he's one of those little entitled elite fucking
never got a whack
bags. I swear to God he is.
You know, Judaism is a faith.
What is it, Raj?
Candace is more of a man than Lindsay.
Good one, Roger.
I'll tell you what, man, she's been punching hard now, whether she's just being allowed to or whatever else. But, you know, she thanked Ben Shapiro for firing her because she has the #1 rated podcast right now.
Cool.
She's like the #1. She's on everywhere.
She's controlled as well.
Of course, they all are if they're that big. If they look, that's what I look at. That's why I always say about the club. I am wary of these flat earth channels that have 100,000 fucking subscribers, 57,000 subscribers. Bullshit, you do.
We have to look in their history. It's very important. How they started, who was sponsoring them, who was she working with the Jews. So it's all one and the same big club.
But there again, regardless, I listen to the information and I dissect the information. So it could be her sitting here saying this, or it could be some random person on my panel saying this exact same thing. I would have to agree with, you know. And when she puts out shit that I don't agree with, I'm like, no, I ain't down for it. For instance, she is still pushing the narrative that Charlie Kirk was actually assassinated at the university. And I'm saying nobody was killed there. That you're chasing down shooters that never even fucking existed. Okay, this was all a setup. Charlie was in on it. Now, whether they took him and killed him later or whatever else, I don't know. But I know that they didn't carry some guy who just got shot off into a fucking van. And nobody got any blood on their hands. Nobody got any blood when they laid him down. There was no arterial spray, nothing. Just a gush and it was over. That was it. Right?
You know,
Magic fucking vertebrae stopping 30-06s. No, I'm sorry. That's not happening, man.
That was really interesting. It was really interesting, the exchange you were having. Is it your daughter? It's Cassidy, your daughter?
Yeah.
Or okay. Yeah, it's just really interesting that like when that Charlie Kirk thing happened, I had I don't know, I reckon I had 12 right-wing mates all message me, just like devastated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking I would be like, I didn't even know who he was actually at the time. But I saw pictures of him and everything. I thought, oh, okay, that bloke. But yeah, just to see how the emotions get a hold of people, and the emotions are so strong that it just doesn't allow people, when facts are presented, that they just can't penetrate that emotional hold with people when they've got this cult of personality.
Well, that's how you know. This is when you see, this is when you can see the psyop, is when they're pushing the emotional aspect of it over the logical aspect of it. Okay. And there was a lot of emotion pushed within this thing. There really was. Especially look at that memorial, how choreographed that was, the crescendo of the music perfectly timed to when she looks up to the sky, you know. I mean, the whole thing, and the camera zooms in, and you know, the fireworks and everything else like that. I mean, this whole spectacle of pageantry with thousands of people in that auditorium all resonating on this same vibe, just like at one of these mega churches, just like they do at a Donald Trump rally. You know, there's a reason they got that music in there. There's a reason they've got that spectacle of lights and everything else, and the crescendos to the music. They're playing that fucking crowd. Well, that's how you know it's a psyop, because, you know, when you start asking questions like, how the fuck this kid took that rifle apart and then put it back together and got off the roof with it and all, what in the hell are you talking about? You know, this flimsy ass case that they're trying to build against it. And then these people, and they say, oh, I believe the FBI story. You know? And I'm like, why? You know, I mean, they pushed away the EMTs that were coming up there to the SUV that they were putting Charlie in. There was EMTs there on the scene coming up with their trauma bag and shit, offering to help and stuff, and they got pushed away by the bodyguards. Why? Because they would have realized that it was fake, that it wasn't a real gunshot, that nobody had actually been shot, that it was all theatrics. That's why they pushed them away. Why do you think they went to a specific hospital, bypassed the closest one, and went to another hospital, one that had been curiously searched by somebody in Israel just a few weeks prior to this event taking place? They rented that stadium back in March. Charlie sold his house back in January, and there's no record of him buying another house. Where's he been fucking living?
What about
and that girl has not shed one visible tear. She's not shed one visible tear. All she's done is dab her eyes.
Dude, I've seen better actresses in daytime dramas. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen better actors playing corpses.
Yeah, real shit. Especially the ones that get up with a cigarette. Was that?
Remember on your channel a couple of weeks ago, we watched that breakdown of one of her speeches.
Oh, Erica?
Yeah, Erica's.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a sequel. Oh, I'll see if I can find it.
This is listen to what this she said. This is a thing too, because the first thing they jump on when you say that shit about Israel, oh, you hate Jews. It's like, no, I hate assholes. Okay, these assholes just happen to be Jewish.
You know, Judaism is a faith, Israel is a state, and it is not above critique, and that what Bibi Netanyahu has done to the Palestinians since October 7th is a Holocaust. It is a Holocaust that is being committed on Palestinian children and women. And I'm not going to quiet my perspective on that, to kowtow to whatever the prevailing narrative is at the New York Post.
That's the thing. I'm not going to sit there and I'm not doing it either. You go ahead. You want to call me anti-Semite? Go ahead. See what good that's going to come from it. I don't give a fuck. Call me whatever you want to. It ain't going to change the facts.
Piers Morgan is totally CIA.
To quote our favorite little small hat Ben Shapiro, facts don't care about your feelings. And I can't stand that little motherfucker. I can't.
Jake GTV always puts him in his videos.
What's he calling Shapiro?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
The most annoying voice. Yeah.
A little hockey voice.
It's like you've got a drawstring at the back of him, and when you pull it, he says something.
Well, if you just look at the facts of the situation.
Oh yeah, this is
maybe you can play this video for the Mr. Fletcher with the English accents. It's freaking awesome, I'm telling you.
This is pretty good.
I love watching these like 60-year-old people say like, so well, I don't even get it. Is it political? I don't get it. Is it like 4chan? It's like the internet. The internet sucks. Whatever. He wants to beat me up. What are you, 5'4"? What are you, 5'4" Jewish pervert? Bring it on.
The Vinico sent $20.
I love watching these like 60-year-old people say like, so.
I guess that was Bill Maher had talked about that he'd like to beat up Nick Fuentes. And I'm like, oh, good luck with that. I was down on Venice Beach one time, and there was a guy out there with like a kiosk standing on the boardwalk, and he was giving away tickets to the Bill Maher show, and nobody wanted them. And we came back down the boardwalk later, and he was still there, and he was getting very angry, man. He was going, free tickets to the Ben Shapiro. It's free tickets to the Bill Maher show. They're free, damn it. Why don't you people want these? I'm like, nobody likes Bill Maher. That's why. A horse-faced motherfucker. Nobody can stand him. I mean, look at this guy's face real quick. This is, wow. Talk about this is a rhinoplasty dream right here. Look at the nose on that motherfucker, man.
Let me introduce this issue, because I almost didn't want to talk about this person because he's so gross. But it's such a big issue this week, and we're going to talk about it after I do this bit. But this guy, Nick Fuentes, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. If you haven't, I mean, I have. I know we had dinner with Trump at one point, and Trump is, I don't know him. I have my picture taken with a lot of people. But he's, I would call a racist. He's this troll. He's the guy who runs on the field at a baseball game that you don't really want to, so you don't take the picture of him, but we kind of have to talk about him.
Does that mean we can beat him up?
I would like to.
So that's what happens when you run on a field with a baseball.
He's what they call a groiper. I looked into this. It's just like this group of people on 4chan, the internet, which makes everything worse. And they are like pointlessly politically incorrect. They were doing it just to troll. They would say the worst sort of awful things or things you don't even understand.
But it's working.
He once said, having sex with a woman is gay and having sex with a man is gay. Okay, I don't know where you go with that.
Of course, something most likely taken completely out of context, but that's Bill Maher, and you can see that nobody wants to be there.
His nose is the majority of his face.
He looks like a horse to me. He does.
Feed him some courage.
No shit. Well,
the
and here's
good thing
another
Bill
thing.
Maher did was that. Sorry, mate.
Oh, go ahead. I got it.
So the only good thing Bill Maher did was that Ben Affleck an interview where what's his name? Affleck.
Yeah.
He just melts down over racism.
I don't know, man. He was I think he was a writer for a while and then decided to do his own comedy thing, but he's not very funny. He's like one of these ones, just because he's a Jew, they put him in a position, like, oh, okay, you're going to be a comedian. I think another one they did that too was Bob Saget, right? I never once ever thought Bob Saget was funny for even a second. I thought he was like the stupidest fucking acting guy ever. And here he was, supposedly this big, stand-up comedian. And I'm like, what's his shtick? It's not even funny. Did they pay people to watch him, or what's the fucking deal? But he was just there because he was a Jew and probably related to somebody or blowing somebody famous. Or, that's it. I never
Adam
could
Sandler,
understand.
another one.
Who?
I reckon Adam Sandler's another one. There's not much talent.
No, I mean, he was kind of funny back in the day, but the thing I found is as he's gotten older, and it's almost like this morphing that takes place into a beast, and he's become such a rabid Zionist. I mean, he's almost to the level of that Rappaport guy, It's like, holy shit, calm down, just calm the fuck down. Are you an American or are you a fucking Israeli? Make up your mind. I don't understand that. But here's another thing: as it was in 1933, so shall it be in 2025. And I just came up with that. So,
out of all the businesses you guys could buy, why did you guys target buying Pornhub?
Yeah, so we saw an extraordinary opportunity. The fact that it's newsworthy or noteworthy that we made the acquisition, that should tell you that this is a space that has not had mainstream investment, right? That it's a space. I always said, when we looked at the business, it's a business that's legal. Not only is it legal, but in every Western democracy, it's constitutionally protected. It could not be outlawed, even if you wanted to, but it doesn't have that legitimacy. And one of the reasons for that, and as we started to examine the business further, was that nobody wanted to say we are the owners of a major adult company, right? Everyone, they wanted the benefits of owning a major adult company. It's a profitable business, but nobody wanted to be out front and engaging with other tech businesses, with government, with law enforcement, with regulation in that sort of way that the modern tech industry has to. So we saw in that this arbitrage opportunity, right? Where if people who come from the mainstream professional networks, whether it's law enforcement, tech, finance, et cetera, this is an opportunity to really bring this industry into the 21st century. We saw an extraordinary opportunity to do that with this, this jewel of an asset, Pornhub, but obviously the entire company.
I love it.
This is a rabbi. This is a rabbi talking about why they bought Pornhub and shit. These guys,
a jewel of an asset. It's a
sick.
Jew asset.
Yeah.
The Randy Rabbi.
They just make me sick.
Why Hitler was accused of book burning? Because he was burning all the books which Jews were printing and depraving the young society. All this sex, all this pornography, and so on. That's why he was burning this shit.
Here we go. Here you go. Wait a second.
Now they're calling that pro.
Yeah.
So in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death, the very people that he did not want influencing Turning Point USA are influencing Turning Point USA. And it's people like Tyler Boyer, the chief operating officer at TPUSA, who secures all of the Jewish donors that Charlie Kirk was refusing to align with. Charlie Kirk just couldn't fire him. Tyler Boyer is more than just a gay little Mormon. He's actually a longtime political operative.
Gay Mormon.
His Mormon mission took him to Russia, at which point he developed ties to these shady Ukrainian orphanages that are so oftentimes connected directly with child sex trafficking operations in war-torn countries. And you remember who else was directly tied to Eastern European orphanages? Erica Kirk in Romania. What are these people doing? Do you find that to be just a little bit weird at 22 years old? Is this the type of thing that you were into?
Exactly the same. Let's let him speak about the Gold Co., which is Jewish organization sponsoring him. And he was proud of it. He was bragging about this shit. It's the same crappy, shitty fucking COINTELPRO put in place for the slow disclosure.
And that's not all when we talk about Boyer's background or his involvement in Maricopa County, Arizona, because in 2020, he faced a whole litany of criminal charges related to fraud and forgery and other criminal schemes. He didn't just lose his wife and kid over having gay sex before scrubbing any evidence of their existence from the internet. They say that he embezzled more than $50,000 worth of Republican Party funds, as well as violating election laws. Now, fast forward to 2025, and Boyer, as the chief operating officer at TPUSA, oversees hundreds of millions of dollars and even the construction of an American orphanage in Chicago. How the hell does that even work? None of this is normal. Normal young men don't hang around with vulnerable children in destitute, war-torn regions of the world. They just don't. And in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, he's growing even more powerful within this TPUSA ecosystem. He doesn't want us talking about it. So much so that Boyer sent me a DM on X demanding contact information from my lawyer. He doesn't even want his name mentioned. He doesn't even want public information that you can go through and find on Grok, because once people start digging in, he's terrified of what they might find. Whether it links him directly to the betrayal of Charlie Kirk, or opens up a completely different can of worms, or both. Yeah, no, he cares, and he wants my lawyer's contact information because, again, we're over the target. Nothing that we have been told about this assassination adds up. Nothing. So you can be in my DMs requesting lawyer contact information, but I'm not going to stop digging. I'm not going to stop searching for these answers, because these fake answers that we've been given are unacceptable.
That's pretty crazy.
I can't help but think that people who open their mouth that much are not protected.
Well, see, that's I think Candace Owens even said, "Go ahead, I want a war. Go ahead, sue me. I'm looking forward to the discovery. Go ahead, sue me." See, because they'll go with that bluster and shit, but then when it comes down to it, somebody says, "Go ahead, I'm looking forward to discovery." You ought to pretty much go ahead, call that bluff. If you're that confident, call that bluff.
Yeah, if it happens, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it will have to be. There's all kinds of disclosure that has to go on. You see.
Yeah, you've got to back up what you've said, haven't you?
Yeah.
She knows that she won't be sued because she's working with them and for them. So they have to have fake left and right, fake division, so-called people who are acting as they are on our side. They're all freaking plants. Like you said, so whoever has over 100,000 and they have millions followers, it's definitely a plant. How they can freaking be on YouTube if they are saying against them? Make it make sense.
I'm on here though. I'm saying shit.
Yeah, but you don't have millions or even 100,000 followers.
Oh,
Look,
I probably do. They're just cutting my views back. That's all.
Possibly.
That's
look, I lost my channel on YouTube like I don't know, freaking 20, sometimes 30 times. I lost count. So I just moved to Odyssey a few years ago because I was sick of this shit.
Oh,
hey, when you stop saying shit, that's when we know you've been compromised.
Oh yeah, the Ozempic thing.
When you hear me that I'm praising government or Jews, it means I was threatened or whatever, or bot. No, I would never be bot.
The newspenders have got you.
What's that again?
The newspenders have got you.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, this Ozempic shit. This is bad. How are your lizard venom levels? That's what you need to check into.
See all those faces? Those are the people that are promoting Ozempic to you. So if you haven't caught the news flash yet, if you're not paying attention, if you didn't wake up during COVID and you really thought RFK was going to come in and maha you, let me show you a clip of RFK. Let me show you a couple, actually. Check this out.
They're trying to sell this. There's a huge push to sell this to the American public. And, it's now the biggest company in Europe, but they're not marketing it in Europe. They make this drug in Denmark, and in Denmark, they do not recommend it for diabetes or for obesity. They recommend dietary and behavioral changes. In our country, they're counting on selling it to Americans because we're so stupid and so addicted to drugs.
How do we give this government 53% of every penny we make? Because I literally swear, I wake up every day thinking that my own government wants to end my life, and they want to poison my children, and they want to chop their genitals off. How else do you explain this?
Everybody will be able to get this drug, and it's going to change. We will lose, the American public, because of this agreement, will lose 125 million pounds by this time next year. So it is going to have dramatic effects on human health in this country.
You know, sometimes God just...
You know, man, I think when he talks, it's almost like he just got done hitting a blunt. You know, so like,
this is some really good. This is some really good shit. So thanks so much.
I'm just gonna say, he's hard to do an impression of.
I feel like telling you, just go ahead and cough, man. Go ahead. You got to cough and get off, brother. Go ahead.
Maybe he doesn't have problem with his front. Maybe he has something on his back. You know.
It's probably from inbreeding. They say it's a vaccine injury, but I think it's from inbreeding.
Yeah, he was saying that was supposedly related to the flu vaccine or something. Yeah, that's what he claims. That's why he's supposedly against FDA, but yet he's promoting mRNA vaccines.
Oh, yeah,
he agrees with that.
he might have one of them remote control vibrator things up his ass, and somebody's got a phone over there controlling it. And he's like, I'm gonna
vibration, exactly.
Got it turned up. He's like,
put your phone in your ass and enjoy our promotion.
You got
just a bit of background. So, what is Ozempic? I don't know what it is.
Okay, it's this drug that they give to people for diabetes, and it promotes, it causes weight loss, and people get thin using this shit, and I guess they conquer their diabetes. But it's got some bad fucking side effects, like shutting down your kidneys and making you go blind and losing 20 years worth of muscle mass in 1 year.
Shit. And you have to.
It's derived from fucking Gila monster venom. That's where it comes from.
And you have to stay with it to the end of the life.
Yeah,
Probably won't be long. So
they say that about everything.
But yeah, you have to have it to the end of your life. That's what they say.
If it was actual
They
medicine,
say that about everything.
If it was actual medicine, you wouldn't need a prescription to be refilled, right?
Exactly.
That's what they told me. They wanted me to take this blood pressure medicine, and I said, "Well,
fuck you."
I said, "How long?" I said, "How long do I got to take it?" And the doctor, she says, "Well, probably for the rest of your life." And I said, "Well, then it's not medicine, is it?" And then she says, "Well, we'd like to put you on these blood thinners too." And I looked at her and I says, "That's Coumadin." She goes, "Yeah." I said, "That's fucking rat poison. I'm not going to eat rat poison." I mean, that's all they wanted to do is push fucking pills at me.
Anything you're gonna prescribe for the rest of your life is a supplement. It's not any kind of treatment. Something you're going to be on for the rest of your life is not an answer to anything. It's a supplement.
Yes, it's
that's why they call it treatment and not a cure, because it treats it.
It supplements the rest of your life and make it shorter.
You don't see any doctors touting for work, do you?
Well, let's look at the difference between a doctor and a physician. We don't have physicians. We have doctors. You can take a broken hinge on a door and you can doctor it with some duct tape, maybe a fucking nail or something. That's just doctoring it. Or you can go in and actually repair it. A physician will deal with a patient. A doctor deals with a symptom.
Yeah, a doctor, right? If I doctor somebody's food, is that good or bad?
It all depends on what you do to it. But there
Well,
again,
doctoring,
it's like unregulated little fucking adjustments. So
if I doctor an official document, is that good or bad?
well, you're not supposed to do that, so I reckon it's bad. What if you doctor
What
a
anything
pepper?
to do with doctor is bad, isn't it, really?
What if you doctor a pepper?
Fuck
You have
off.
two phrases in a doctor: doc and tor. You know, of course, what those two words means. Yeah, tor, it's normal, like a pole or whatever. But doc, it's related to maritime law because ports going to the dock, and when a woman gives a birth, doctor is taking the birth, helping with the birth.
And when
So
you go into the dock tour, or
yes,
like dry dock to have your barnacles removed.
yep. I put the video related to double speak. It's 5 minutes, but pretty good.
All right.
Jordan Maxwell
throws you a bone, just gives you a sign, right? Check this out. I mean, sometimes God just makes this super easy for you, you know? Like, I don't know if the guy that's promoting the drug or founded the drug or created the drug just drops dead from a heart attack during the press conference promoting it.
Has been investing in America. We've been advancing science and creating high-value jobs. But today, are you okay? Gordon, you okay?
We still
now that I got your attention, you might be asking yourself, Ryan, well, what's in this Ozempic drug?
They never told you it was venom. I didn't know it was venom. I looked it up. What kind of drug is this? Oh, it's a GLP-1 drug. What the hell does GLP-1 drug mean? Never heard that in my life. Holy crap, it comes from the venom of a lizard?
Probably thinking, Ryan, lizard venom, that can't be good, right? What are the side effects? Has anybody ever gotten sick from this drug?
Just hit. And what's coming out is truly horrifying. Muscle wasting. And we're not talking a little, we're talking 20 years of muscle lost in only 1 year of taking this. Doctors say losing this much muscle contributes to you aging faster.
Oh shit. I just thought of something. That might be what happened to Dwayne Johnson. You know, The Rock?
Yeah.
You seen those pictures of him? He's all skinny and shit now?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you he might have been taking that shit for diabetes or something, man. Wow. Be something to look into.
Losing strength in your heart destroys your metabolism. It gets scarier though. Plaintiffs developed gastroparesis, which means stomach paralysis. Food just sits in their stomach, just rotting. Imagine being so backed up you vomit for days. You end up in the ER. They have to shove a tube down your nose just to empty out your stomach. And for some of the plaintiffs, they have said their whole gastrointestinal tract cannot function anymore, can't even move.
You don't think it's strange that RFK, Mr. Maha, is literally bragging about how everybody can go sign up for this drug and it's going to have monumental impacts on the health of American citizens?
That's not bad enough. Patients are reporting losing their teeth because this medication will dry out all of the mucous membranes. And what happens is if you're not having healthy saliva, it affects your teeth so quickly. Nightmare doesn't stop there. There are cases of sudden permanent blindness, according to the documents. Waking up one day with no vision, no way to bring it back ever. Yeah, and pancreatitis and kidney failure. So $2 billion for this lawsuit is just the beginning, according to the lawyers. Ask yourself, is the shot worth losing your strength, your independence, your smile, possibly even life-altering consequences?
I think it's only fair to say that this drug's so safe and effective, and since Congress, a majority of these mother effers are so overweight, that it's only fair that we mandate it on Congress like they mandated on our troops. And then let's wait about a year like we did with the COVID-19 vaccine, just to make sure there aren't any of those long-term side effects. We don't want to get long Ozempic, right?
I get long Ozempic. That's pretty good. But yeah, can you believe that? He's pushing that. This is your Make America Healthy Again. Remember what I said the other night about everything's the goddamn opposite of what they say it is. Everything. Make America Great Again ain't nothing about America at all. Wesley Curry, you need to connect your microphone and camera, my friend. So far, you're just behind in the chat, in the backstage. Got somebody trying to join the panel. Oh God, yeah, this was pretty good. Another Nick Foots has been going pretty hard on Shapiro lately, which I like because I can't stand.
Yeah, but he was exposed as well, Nick Fuentes. He was making jokes about the small children and laughing with another pedophile who is Handsome Truth. They expose themselves both. I have videos from their own mouth admitting that shit. So no, I don't trust them.
And I think the whole country is sick of Ben Shapiro. I think the entire United States of America has had it right up to about here with Ben Shapiro. We've had it up to here with you, little guy. I think we're all ready for Ben Shapiro to go back home to Israel. Am I right? One's in the chat if Ben Shapiro should be denaturalized and deported to Israel. Can we get that trending? Can we get that going? This little guy
they're the
has
same
got to
person.
go home. Little man, it's time for you to go home to Israel. We don't want you here. He goes around saying, I need security everywhere I go because everyone hates me. Well, go live in Israel. You'll be greeted like a hero. It will be a hero's welcome when you return to Israel. They'll play trumpets in the streets. You'll have all of the matzo ball soup, whatever the fuck that you want. Get out. Fake American. Ben Shapiro is not American. Can we just get that straight? You have forfeited your right to call yourself American. You're not one. You don't care about America. You don't care about Americans. You're not America first. He said in an interview once, the number one guarantor of my loyalty to the United States is Israel. Go there. Go there then. Go home. What's stopping you? Just don't come back next time. Next time you're in Israel hanging out with the war criminal. Next time you're over there hanging out and jacking off the war criminal, just stay. You and your Jewish wife and Israeli kids. I think she's Moroccan, actually. I don't think she's Israeli, but I think she's like Moroccan Jewish. Just stay there next time. Seriously, fuck out of here. This is the United States. Anyway, so we'll talk about little Ben.
I thought that was funny as shit. You just stay the fuck over there. Just do it. Just stay there. Correct.
Right, boys, I'm going to have to get off. My dog's awake and he needs a piss. So I'm out of here.
All right, brother.
Take care, everybody. Love you.
Yep.
See
I'm
you-
going to be
see you,
getting
bro.
off here pretty soon myself. But here's, you know who Olin Schroyer, right? He's this was kind of.
Yep, he left Infowars.
Yeah, watch this. This is great.
MAGA is dead. MEGA is here.
Fuck. That's a
Join
good
the
one.
team. Give it up, America. Give it up. You lost. Israel won. So you'll probably get more strikes on Iran. You'll probably get more foreign aid for Israel before you get a single deep state arrest. Before you get any significant or meaningful Doge cuts or any audits. Before you take care of your own debt. Before you take care of your own economy, Israel will get more money, more military support, because that's who runs the show. So get on the winning team. Come on, guys. That's what it's all about, right? I mean, that's the new MAGA.
Oh, give me one of them little hats, man. That looks warm. Huh?
You guys weren't supporting Donald Trump in 2015 and 2016. You didn't start supporting him till after he won. So you guys are all just joining the winning team. You're all just joining the bandwagon. That's what MAGA is all about, right? So I'm in. I'm on the team now. I am now MEGA. And I got to say, the updates, the upgrades to my wardrobe with this hat, the Schmeatral, already been worth it. Just the hat, just the power of the hat alone. And now I can bully you and pressure you and bend you to my will.
See, I told you it was all about the hats, bro. I told you it was all about the fucking hats.
But that's not such a small hat, though. That's a kind of bigger small hat.
That's a different echelon of hat. You notice the one thing that all of their hats have in common is that none of them are designed for a working man. They're not. There's no functionality to it whatsoever.
I've never seen one I've never seen a yarmulke on a work site, that's for sure, on a construction
No,
site.
unless they're coming there to bring a check or something or get a check. Anyway.
And then I'll character assassinate you and torment you and gaslight you and steal and co-opt your entire movement and your money. Feels good, man. I like it. I like it. Just
that was oxymoronish right there with his little cup. Listen, I think everybody's got Israel fatigue, man. We're sick of it all. We really are. The little whining about the Holocaust and calling people anti-Semite isn't working anymore, especially on the younger people. Okay, you didn't bomb them and make them read the Diary of Anne Frank. You didn't hit them up with all these stupid documentaries and shit like you did my generation. Luckily, I was able to break free of that spell and see it for what it was. And boy, when I saw it for what it was, it confirmed all of my suspicions. How are you tonight, Wesley?
I'm okay. Just working on making a feature musical film, and took a break and looked into the YouTube at what was live, and your show was in the current live status. So I thought I'd see what you all were doing.
Well, welcome. We're all about dispelling the illusions that have been placed on us since our immersion into this 3D reality.
Well, there's a little bit of a problem with using TV to do that, but
using TV, we know that what TV was originally patented as a mind control device, and they've been perfecting it over the years, adjusting flicker rates, doing all kinds of tests on monkeys and checking dopamine levels and that sort of thing. And they've gotten to a point now with these new 4K TVs and these ultra high definition that the flicker rate is to a point where within 3 to 5 seconds of a person watching television, they're pulled into a alpha wave brain state, which is the most suggestible state of awareness that we have. And I think this is one of the things that has contributed to the increase of hostility amongst people on different sides of issues. Now, it's not just a discussion. It comes down to where these people want to literally kill each other and fight each other over it. And they're orchestrating that. They're orchestrating people's behavior using these media devices 100%. The problem that I pose for them is that I create glitches in their matrix. I am a glitch in their matrix. I can't be hypnotized, and I show others how they're being hypnotized. Once you realize you're being hypnotized, it doesn't work on you anymore. And that's what we do here. That's one of the many things we do here.
We don't have completely disparaging ideas about what TV is, but mine is somewhat different than yours.
Well, this is all. Do you know what the very first television broadcast was?
I think it was of Adolf Hitler making a speech.
Yeah. And the reason they did that was so that everybody, all good Germans, could participate in the rally and hear the speech of the Führer. Even if they couldn't make it to Nuremberg, see, they could still participate in it. And it had a profound effect on the popularity because this is now mass media, see.
My view on TV is that it is the barren, meaning it can't get pregnant harlot, the great harlot.
Mm-hmm.
Harlot with all the blasphemies written on her forehead.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing right now is writing those words on the forehead of the great barren harlot. The great whore is TV.
Yep. Well, this is the thing, and there's what you said is right too, because they begin so many programs. Interesting word for shows, isn't it? Programs, television programming. And They start
sure
them
are.
off with a reaffirmation of this ridiculous idea that you live on a globe, on a ball spinning around with water sticking to it. Every time they start the news off showing you a globe spinning around, a movie starts with a globe spinning around.
Sure.
All the time you're being subjected to this ridiculous idea to reaffirm this brainwashing into your mind. And that's
Well, the chosen 144,000,
Mm-hmm.
the Fishgate, the remnant, the 12 tribes, the government of Israel, do not watch TV ever. Never watch TV. The 144,000
Who are
never
they?
watch TV, never use TV.
Who are they?
They are 144,000 young Jewish children.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
No,
Let
No,
me-
they're not. No, they're not.
Well,
Where
how
do you get this? Where do you get this from, Wesley?
If you'll let me finish.
Uh-huh.
They are at this time scattered around the world. They are all Jewish, but none, not even one of their parents are Jewish. And
How's that work?
Jesus gave them these words to speak, which they all said. Without TV, 144,000 children around the world all spoke the same words.
Where's
from
this?
Jesus.
Where's this documented at?
Bad, boom, boom, mark of the 10, the black, death, war, Yavol, hell. Those are prophecies from Jesus Christ that the 144,000 spoke. But they
So there's 100. Wait a second. I'm just trying to clarify something. Who counted these people and documented this? That there was 144,000 of these kids scattered around the world that all said this. How do they know it wasn't 141,000? How do they know it wasn't 139,000? How do they know this? Where did this information come from?
Well, not from you.
Well, no, of course not. I would never claim to know such a thing.
Which Bible?
I read only the King James Bible.
Each
I don't
version
read any
of
of
Bible
the
refers to
versions.
100.
So the Masonic version.
Yeah, King James is Masonic.
Would you like to know the meaning of the words that they spoke?
Which words? I'm still trying to get the idea of who counted these kids, and they must now have a location and know exactly who all of these 144,000 children are. Who recorded this, that they said these things and were actually what they're professed to be?
Well,
I mean, I'm just asking logical questions. I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying these are questions that need to be answered for validity's sake, I would say.
Well, mark of the 10 is omni barcodes, the mark of the beast, a branded mark that shall come with the temptation of free money. 32,523 computer dollars from Islam Emirate banks. 32,523 free dollars shall be given to each beast taking the mark of the beast, the omni barcode. Mark of the 10 is the word that the 144,000 spoke concerning that. Yavol is the enforcers of the mark of the beast.
Okay, wait a second. You still have not answered my question. I'm looking for the validity of the existence of this 144,000 children that are supposedly Jewish, but not through lineage, somehow because Jesus just said, hey, you're Jewish now. I don't know.
No.
Where are you getting all this stuff
Okay,
from?
this one I can explain. Because the real Jew, I'm not talking about the people who are living in Israel, the real Jew, according to Bible, even Matthew Bible, is the one who follows Christ. That's why Revelation 2:9 says they say they are Jew, but they are not. And we call them Jews today, but they're not Jews. Because the Jew, by definition, is the one who follows Christ.
That is correct.
That's all. It's Galatians also, Galatians 3:28, 29.
A Hebrew who does not believe Jesus is God is not a Jewish Hebrew. A Hebrew who believes Jesus is God is a Jewish Hebrew.
Okay,
Everyone
so
who follow Christ is Jew by
they
definition.
know where each and every one of these 144,000 children are at right now. Then
The word the Hebrews use concerning how those children are of the lineage of Hebrews is called Noahide.
yeah,
That's
doesn't-
sort of a, I don't like that term personally, but they are bloodlined Hebrews, but they are the Hebrews did a lot of fucking around, a lot of screwing around outside of their wives, and
Yes.
made a lot of women pregnant and created lines of lineage in
Right,
that
but
way.
exactly.
That is how those children are all through the Hebrew line.
Okay, but we have to go back to the soft question.
Jesus
Who counted
chose them and made them Jewish
all
from
right. So
birth.
then this gives me back to the original question I had: who counted these children, and do they know the whereabouts of each one of these 144,000? I mean, you would have to know where they were at in order to know that they had done what you claim.
What's this? What do you need to count for?
You just gave a number. That's why you said 144,000. How do you know there's 144,000 of these kids?
I
That's
have
a
no
legitimate
doubt
question.
whatsoever, and I don't have to prove it to you.
What? I didn't say that. I said, how do you know that? Is this just a belief that you have, or is this actually documented stuff? If it's a belief, then it's a belief. If there's an actual documentation, somebody did a census or found all 144,000 children, and they all said this stuff that you claim, well, who wrote that down? Who checked? Who found these people? Or is this an actual, just a belief? Is there any kind of corroborating evidence to support the claim?
Faith is the evidence of things.
Okay, so no, then. There is absolutely nothing to corroborate this other than belief, right?
Jesus, would you put the taste of mustard in all the mouths watching this show?
What the hell are you talking about? I'm just differentiating between a belief and a fact.
There's the evidence in your mouth.
What's the evidence? The fact that you have that it's a belief and
You
not.
give only the evidence that you trust your lie.
You haven't given any evidence other than what you believe. I've been asking for the evidence.
I don't have any need to prove that Jesus is God.
Well, then where are you? I didn't ask you anything about that.
I'm not going to even try to prove it to you.
I didn't. Wait a second.
need
Wait a second. Did I ask you to prove God?
Your logic.
I know that God exists. Okay.
Your
I know
logic and your
you
reason
came
is
up
very
on my panel. Listen to me.
questionable right now.
You came up here on this panel claiming that there were 144,000 children that said a certain thing.
Yep.
I ask you how you know this. How is that asking you to prove anything? I ask you, how do you know this? Is it a belief that you have, or do you have actual evidence that this is true, that they've counted 144,000 children? Where are they? Who did the counting? Who documented this? Those are the things that I'm trying to figure out. And if there's none of that, and you've not seen anything to support that way, that means that you have a belief. That's fine. Have a belief.
Sounds to me like you've been hypnotized by the TV, and unless it's on TV, you don't believe it.
Really? That's what you got?
Come on, mate.
That's what you got from that? You're clearly not a thinking person then.
Anyway,
do you have
that
critical
room
thinking skills?
is how hell begins.
Let me ask you something. Do you
Jesus
think
showed-
that you live? Do you think that
Look,
you live
you
on a
don't- look,
globe?
you're not asking questions. You're making ultimatums. And
No,
if
I'm
I
not.
don't meet your
How would you know? You
ultimatums,
didn't even hear what I
you're
said.
going to dig your little square hole deeper.
Okay, listen. Do you believe that you live on a globe in outer space, or do you live on a level topographical plane covered by a firmament?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, you said you believe in God and the Bible. Which do you think is true? That you live on a globe, or do you live on a flat Earth like is described in the Bible?
I tell you what, first you prove to me that you're able to listen to what I want to say, and then I'll answer your question.
Oh, so now you're going to come on here and give me a fucking ultimatum? I'll
No,
throw your
now
dumb ass
I
right
am
out of here.
telling
I don't
you,
have to tolerate
You
you.
have not one time
I
let
don't
me
have
speak
to.
where
I
you
don't have to
didn't
tolerate
interrupt.
that.
So you don't really listen to what anybody says.
You haven't said anything except for you claimed that there were 144,000 kids that said a certain particular thing.
Here's
This
where
was,
you
oh wait, no. This was your claim. All I did was ask you how you know this.
Here's where you Satan worshipers get mad because you know I'm speaking.
Whoa. Hold up there, dickwad. Hold up, dickwad. Who the fuck are you calling Satan worshipers? Who are you calling Satan worshipers? Because I ask you a legitimate question. You have found yourself painted into a corner and can't
No,
answer.
you haven't listened to anything I said.
You said that there were 144,000 fucking kids around the world that said a particular thing.
You're so full of yourself.
Did you say
actually
that or
believe
not?
your
Did
vomit.
you or did you not say
You
that?
really believe
Listen.
believe the vomit you puke right now like a dog licks its own puke.
What vomit? You're the only one putting out vomit. You're making
dead
ridiculous
ashes in your
claims.
soul.
You're making ridiculous claims that you have nothing to back it up for, and then want to attack me because I ask you for legitimacy of your claim.
You're gonna be branded with a bar.
Okay, let's finish that.
Listen,
Let's
you
ask
gotta
again.
just go the fuck away. That's all.
Look, if someone makes a claim, he's supposed to provide evidence supporting his claim. That's my
Look,
opinion.
I'm going to tell you what he is, and this is what gets attracted when you start talking about this. He's one of these goddamn weirdo fucking nuts that found the Bible. That's what you got right there. Some kind of fucking weirdo wants to come on with his own convoluted shit and claim it as fact. And that's what every time that comes on here with that. We had that guy last night talking about that shit. And it's like, look, that's great. You have a belief. I'm not going to argue with you about it. You made a claim that there's 144,000 kids that are supposedly these chosen people and whatever. Where did this come from? That's all I'm asking.
We
Where
have
do you
no
get your
idea
bullshit from?
who is 144,000. What we know from the scripture is that there were 12 tribes of Israel scattered across earth. And from each tribe will be 12,000 people. There will be children or adults. I'm not sure. But
Or
that's
it could
what we
just
know.
be a bunch of bullshit.
Maybe. But I believe it was
Most
written in the
likely.
Bible.
Most likely. Look, I'd have to be foolish to think that with everything that I've run across in this world that is just a fucking lie, that this one thing is going to be completely 100% true. That's like these people you say, do you trust the government? No. Do you believe NASA? Yeah. Did you know that NASA's the government? Well, but I believe them. See, you gotta have
Cognitive
a
dissonance, yes.
skepticism about it. So that 144,000, that could be some kind of symbolic shit. It might just be horse shit. It might be the ravings of some kind of a mescaline dream, for all I know. The bottom line I do know is this: that I'm gonna do what's right, do what's good. Try to emulate this man that they refer to as Yeshua. Try to be as benevolent as I possibly can and as helpful, right? That's what I'm going to do. People start wanting to lead me into fucking rituals and shit like that. I'm out. I'm out. Eating bread and wine and shit, and get the fuck out of here with that craziness, man.
Did you see what happened behind him?
Yeah, something fell
All
off.
that shit.
That was like a very odd, you know.
It was very strange, and I was worried. He had a little dog there, and I just watched it back. It was bizarre.
I was
It
looking
was like
for
some
a
sort of
network
lighting
as
setup.
well.
It was like some sort of lighting setup.
Fucking thing came down. I was about to say something to him, and I thought, well, he didn't even notice that.
Oh, he didn't. He even didn't move his head. He was straight as an arrow.
I was about to say, hey, something just fell out of your ceiling back there, or whatever, man.
He didn't even notice.
I think so. It was some kind of like a broom or whatever it was.
You like
It
pop
looked like you know when photographers they have these big sort of like an umbrella silver thing that expands the light.
Yeah,
It looked
diffuser.
like something like that set up.
There's a diffuser.
He might be a photographer.
I don't know. Do you guys ever eat Popeye's chicken?
Don't get that in Thailand.
Oh,
Actually, I think it may be here now.
Look at this. They fucked up hard. This is really bad. This is so gross.
Oh,
It
no,
took
what
me
is
a
it?
little while to realize why Popeye's giving me a whole chicken head, bro.
Oh,
This is, this is the beak.
Ah, shit.
My God, it's a chicken head. I am so done. Look at the chicken eye. I'm so done. Like Popeyes. Seriously, Popeyes? Oh my, oh no, I forgot down for this. Oh no, I forgot down for this. We can't believe. My appetite gone. I can't believe.
That's fucked up, man.
Wow.
Oh man, that slipped through. How'd that get through? Oh, I just went right into the bread machine hole like that too. Just
I never eat in the fast food. Never ever.
Man.
I'm staying away from deep fried altogether now because of that seed oil.
Yeah, well,
seed oil is nothing, man. Human DNA, that's the worst thing.
It's like drinking car oil.
Well, canola oil got a bad rap. Everybody's wary of it. So now what they're calling it is rapeseed oil. And it's in they put it in everything, man. It's the same shit. They just renamed it because it's because everybody was getting wise to what canola oil would do. See, so that's what they were going to do with aspartame. They were trying to change the name to amino sweet, because everybody was getting on to what aspartame was and how dangerous it was, and so they're just going to rename it amino sweet and just not tell anybody.
Do you know who founded, not discovered, but founded and first started making money out of aspartame?
Who?
Donald Rumsfeld.
No, yeah, I could believe that.
Yep.
That dude looks like this.
Do you know how it worked? Do you know where it comes from? Aspartame?
It's a bacteria or something, isn't it?
It's E. coli feces.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It was some kind of
They
bacteria.
worked out that feces from the bacteria had this sweet taste. They thought, we're going to make artificial sweetener out of this. And it was back when, remember Tab Cola? It was like the first diet drink.
What was it called?
Tab.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And so apparently Rumsfeld had got the patent on it and made a lot of money and started putting it in confectionery and drinks and a whole bunch of stuff from then.
God. Yes, I've never been big on carbonated drinks and sodas. Never. I always end up getting the hiccups when I drink them every time. Especially, boy, if I drink a carbonated soda with a straw, I'll have the hiccups before I even get the first couple of drinks. I don't know what it is, but every time, and I can't stand the hiccups.
I drink soda. I think you call it club soda. It's no sugar.
Sparkling.
Yeah, sparkling water. I like that.
What was that stuff we used to
Don't
get?
drink this as well.
Came in a glass bottle with a cork. I'd get that shit out in Death Valley all the time. What the hell was that called?
Water? Perrier.
No, it wasn't Perrier. It was another thing. Oh, it'll probably hit me about 3 o'clock in the morning, which isn't too far from right now. I'm going to have to wind it down here, guys, and call it a day. I think might have me a couple little bit of snacks here before I go to bed. God, I couldn't believe it. I went to the grocery store today, and I always get the little small cart because I'm like, okay, that way I won't buy as much. $105 fucking dollars, man. And the amount of shit that I had outside of the dog food, I could all carry in one load. $105 fucking dollars, man. And all I got was like some deli meat, some cheese, some bread, I think a can of soup, a few other things, man. And it was like, I couldn't believe it. $105. Like, this is getting ridiculous, man. It's getting totally ridiculous. We're going to have be like Hunger Games here for too long. They'll have us in our FEMA districts. Those will be the districts, see? And then the opulence of the capital with their ballroom, eating their gourmet foods and shit while everybody else is out there struggling around. It's going to end up being, if this does come into a civil war, it's going to be actually against the, it's going to be the people against these oligarchs. I guarantee it.
Hey, Sav, go back and play the show right where that guy said Satan and his lamp fell from his ceiling right behind him, dude.
I know, we saw that. We were remarking on that. We were like, what was that? Something fell off his fucking ceiling back there.
That was his lamp, man. Too bad he wasn't underneath it. I'm just kidding.
But I mean, it's like the guy got all offended because I asked him, I said, no, wait a second. That's legitimate. If you know there's 144,000 kids that all said a certain thing, that means that somebody documented this.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So where, who documented it? Where's the supporting evidence for this? Or is this just some kind of shit you believe? He kind of reminded me of that pigeon pecker guy. Remember him?
No, I don't remember him, no.
Oh my God, that guy was all the time. That's what he called the Jews. He called them pigeon peckers. He was always going after Brian Stavely.
Oh, no.
I haven't heard a peep out of Brian in about a year or more, man.
Well, he's still doing stuff from what I hear, but there's not a lot like he used to.
I don't know. I don't ever get no notifications for it.
Well, neither do I, but that's what I hear from people. And he was one of the first people in this community that came over and welcomed me into the Flat Earth community with Brian Staley. I did a show with DJ. He came over and said hi and welcome to Flat Earth. And he's a nice guy.
He's how I found you, Sov.
Is he?
Like, I don't know if it was directly through him, but because he was the first streams that I ever watched, and sort of indirectly, I guess.
I saw a post from him on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and I guess he's still doing some part-time stuff, tending bar, but he's also got his real estate license, and he's selling properties around Lake Norman down there in North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful lake. I used to spend my childhood out there.
Did you?
Yeah. It was a good place.
Check. This is pretty good.
Is that where you grew up, Roger?
Yeah, I grew up in North Carolina. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
North Carolina is crazy. If you look at it, where the state line with North Carolina and Virginia, it's almost like a mirror image.
Yeah, they flipped upside down.
Because South Carolina or North Carolina is like shaped like an upside down Virginia.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh yeah, right. We were here first. We was here first, bitch. We're the birthplace of presidents, man.
Oh yeah.
We had Madison, right? Madison, Jefferson, Washington, Wilson. Trying to think who else. Who's the other guy? I don't know. We're not real proud of Wilson, though.
Okay.
He came from Stanton, down by where my daughter lives.
What's wrong with Stanton?
Nothing, except it birthed out Woodrow Wilson.
My mom went to his high school. They named a high school after him in California. It's called Woodrow Wilson High.
There's probably 100. There's probably hundreds of Woodrow Wilson highs, and there's how many Lincoln highs and Washington highs, and it's so funny. You go from one town, go across the country to another town, they got the same fucking street names, they got the same school names, it's crazy, man. It's like little copies of everything all across the whole country. It's crazy.
Well, there's a Lowell, Massachusetts. There's a Lowell, North Carolina. There's a Lowell, Virginia, probably. I'm sure of it. There's towns named like that all over the states too, right?
But that's the thing about Stanton, is that people that are not from here call it Staunton because it's spelled Staunton, but it's pronounced Stanton. I don't know. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Anyway, let me show you this little movie trailer real quick.
They were meant to lead with free will.
But every hand, every vow,
Every step is pulled by someone else.
you put the hat on, you touch the wall, and you do as you're told.
This fall, freedom has strings attached.
Even Disney is showing that. How is freaking possible?
So that's not real. I mean, it's somebody made that.
It's made up. Okay.
That's how good it is. It fools people.
I just seen the logo of Disney. I was like,
Hey,
I didn't watch it.
It's hard to tell real from satire these days, mate.
Dude, it's amazing. That's why a lot of times I'll see something and I'll go, wait a minute, is this The Onion? Is this
I had to
from-
wait. I was waiting. I was 50-50 whether that was true or not.
You know, we were talking earlier about when Trump came on my show, and that was amazing because we were talking about that at work the other day. And Mike, he goes, yeah, that time when Trump came on your show, you remember that? And I says, yeah. He says, man, I don't know. That might have really been him. I was like, I don't know, Mike. It could have been. The guy had
Or
me
one of the Trumps.
He had me about half convinced, man. I was like, wait a minute. No, I thought it could be, though. He sounds so much like him, man. It's like everything. And he's saying the shit that Trump would say.
His attitude and the way his talking points around Israel were straight out. That's why I said if it's not him, it's someone in his team or one of the, because there's obviously more than one Trump.
Luke, are you going to come clean, dude? Are you going to admit you did it? Come on. We know you did it, Luke.
They're eating the cats.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm going to leave you with this. This is the thing. This is happening more and more around the country. These people are getting called out left and right. They can't even do these town halls no more. Watch this.
People have a right of free speech. What do you have to say about that, Brian?
I have to say, shut up.
2 million people. 2 million people are starving. Do you have a heart? Do you have a heart? Show us your heart.
All right, we're a little bit over. I'm hoping we can take one more. So Nancy Frank from Elkhorn.
Bring us home, Nancy.
I want to have you address the question that was shouted about the starving children in Gaza, but also the
Let the woman get a question.
But also the hungry children in Wisconsin due to SNAP and food bank cuts.
To the first question that you asked, which relates to the challenges that we've seen between Hamas and Israel. To me, the easy answer to address this crisis is for Hamas to surrender and release the hostages. That ends the war tomorrow.
Right. Nice bullying.
Israel was unfairly, unjustly attacked. Their civilians were killed and kidnapped by Hamas terrorists. Israel has a right to defend itself.
Please let her hear her answer.
I never
The gentlewoman has a right to hear the answer.
It's genocide. You believe in genocide? Genocide.
What a smug.
Oh, I am fucked. He's coming to his head.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming tonight.
So
we're going to close it off here because there's no point in continuing.
Let me know this. I just, as it relates to your question, I'm of the view that Israel has the right to defend itself, and the easy and simplest way to end this horrific war is for Hamas to surrender and release their hostages. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Doesn't mean that everyone fully agreed with me. I know there's a lot of people who agree with me. I thank you down here as well, and look forward to seeing everybody again soon. Everybody have an absolutely wonderful night.
Feed the kids.
Look, I don't believe that Hamas really attacked them. I
No.
think so it was Jews themselves.
That's what I think.
But even if, let's entertain the idea, even if Hamas attacked, with the 7 hours no reaction from Israel, which is physically impossible. Let's assume they attacked. All right. So they had the freaking right to do it because freaking was 48. Since that time, they were killing all the time people in Palestine, all the time. So how long you can freaking wait to react and defend yourself?
Exactly.
So
I
that would be justified if it was them. I don't think so it was them. I don't think so it was Jews. But anyway.
Oh, I do too. You know, and I believe there was a stand down order. 100%.
100%. Yeah, because soldiers from IDF say it.
Well, that's what they've been doing. Hamas is actually IDF. It's actually Mossad.
Yeah.
And they'll fire a couple rockets into fucking Israel, and then they go, "Oh, that gives us excuse to go put the beat down on these people."
You're talking about the fireworks, and the Iron Dome, yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, folks, I'm going to have to shut her down. I'm actually longer than I intended to be tonight, but that's all right. We had fun. Had a good crew up here tonight. Great people in the audience. And make sure you hit the like button. It helps in the algorithm. And it's like we say, every one of my subscribers that I have are genuine and organic. I'm not one of these channels that has 57,000 fucking subscribers but can't generate but about 800 views, you know, like some people, Judas. So also I'm not monetized, so if you like the show and you want to financially help and help support the show, the links are in the description of my PayPal. There's the Cash App going by in the scroll. Do not do it if you can't afford to, and only just pay what you think it's worth. And that's pretty much the whole spiel I've got on that. Anybody got any last words before we go tonight? Roger, you got a show coming up?
Yeah, I'm doing one in about a half hour.
About a half hour. So you want to go over to Roger's and be sure you hit the bell notification and subscribe over there and check out Roger's show. He's going to be doing here in a little bit. And I want to thank y'all for coming up here tonight. And as we always like to say, don't forget, the Lord loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And if you heard the shot, it probably wasn't meant for you. So we'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Don't forget, we're going to be doing chapter 4 of the Word Magic book on the next show. So be sure you're subscribed. Subscribe to my Rumble channel as well and my backup just in case. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.